Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Flag on the Play, episode 48. I'm back with the guys. You know, my two dogs and put up, Cowboy and my boy Real Talk with MJ. Man, how y'all feeling, bro? How y'all feeling?
Good.
I'm good.
I'm great.
I'm feeling great, man.
Well, let's just get into it, bro. You know, feel me? NFC East breakdown. You already know what time it is. This is probably gonna take up the majority of the damn show. So, we're gonna do these categories and shit. So, we'll start with you, MJ. MJ, who is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
I'm so glad you asked me this question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very glad because when I see a guy like Dak Prescott, that's the first name that comes to mind.
Oh, wow.
And Cowboys be. I'm talking straight to you, bro. I'm talking straight to you. Like, your man is the most overrated player in the NFC East. And my thing is, like, Dak had an MVP caliber season. He was cool. But if we really give it context and look to the teams that he beat and lost to last season, he beat all the trash teams, 40-0 against the Giants, 30-10 versus the Jets, blew out the Patriots. Cool. Blew out the Rams. I'll give you that early on in the season. But against the Bills, even against the Lions, if Dan Campbell wasn't so, I'm going to go for it on fourth down, doing that so much, y'all would have lost that game too. So what I see is a guy in Dak Prescott who really has done great against trash teams and then has padded his stats like he did in the playoffs with the Green Bay Packers. What did Dak Prescott do in the first quarter? Nothing. But when y'all was down by 30 points, then he want to, do a little something. Nah. So Dak is the most overrated guy, and the fact that he's in top 10 conversations. I saw he was in top 5 QB conversations over Jalen Hurts. Is wildly disrespectful, bro. Wildly disrespectful.
Cowboy, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, you forgot to add another trash team from last year to that list. That Dak beat, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles.
We beat y'all though. We beat y'all though.
I want to take that off by that.
Cool.
The most overrated player in the division. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't look at that. You want to know what? I'll give you a hot take here. I think the most overrated player in the division is Micah Parsons. But that's besides the point. Let me respond to what MJ said. Dak Prescott is not overrated. I saw a comment from Dawson that said that Dak Prescott isn't even a top 10 quarterback. That is ridiculous. Over the course of his career, he has played at consistently a very high level. When you look at that offense this year, it was not nearly as good as people made it out to be. The run scheme was not good. They had trouble running the football. It wasn't a creative offense that they had. And yet Dak still put up big numbers. And this whole thing of like he only beat trash teams, he did quite well against good football teams. Like I busted your balls about the Eagles earlier about them being a trash team. They weren't a trash team last year. He played well against them twice. He played well against Miami in that game. Played well against the Lions. I don't want to hear this Dan Campbell stuff, okay? If Peyton Hendershot didn't get called for tripping, the Cowboys would have won that game, and that whole 2-point debacle wouldn't even have been a thing. But here's my thing. Like, you talk about Jalen Hurts. He's not better than Jalen Hurts. My problem with this discussion with Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, and by the way, I am not a hater of Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. They put Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts. Jared Goff's not better than Jalen Hurts. I believe he's a top 10 quarterback. But my problem with the conversation when it comes to comparing Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott is whenever Eagles fans talk about like, Jalen Hurts is better than Dak because he took his team to the Super Bowl, I find that argument incredibly flawed due to the fact that Jalen Hurts is 0-3 in playoff games. If we're going to go by quarterback wins, he is 0-3 in playoff games when his defense gives up more than 7 points. I'm not going to sit here and say, look at what Jalen did on that run to the Super Bowl when he put up 120 yards passing against the San Francisco 49ers. They were playing contained defense when they were rushing the passer because they were like, this dude's not a threat in the pocket. If you do that to Justin Herbert, he's putting up 45 points in that game. Okay, they do that because they do not respect his prowess in the pocket. If you do that to Dak, he's putting up 40 points as well. Okay, so when it comes to playing the quarterback position, Dak Prescott plays it better than Jalen Hurts. As a matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers came out and said that he plays the position as good as anybody in the league. His words, not mine. So when it comes to Dak being the most overrated player in the division, I don't think he is, but I will also take the bull and say I think Micah Parsons is.
I want to hear your reason on why, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah.
Before he gets to the Micah part, MJ, do you want to respond to that?
Well, first off, Aaron Rodgers would defend Dak because he's basically been like Dak. For real. He's been great. Let me say this. Aaron Rodgers has been just like Dak. He's been great in the regular season. And when was the last time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl?
How many Super Bowls?
When was the last time he won? I was like 12 years old. You feel me?
How many Super Bowls does Jalen Hurts have?
I mean, we in the year 4 now. We in the year 4. You feel me?
Aaron Rodgers, year 4 as a starter. Didn't he win a Super Bowl by year 4 as a starter? So you're slandering Aaron Rodgers, you're slandering Aaron Rodgers, but then every single reel I see on your Instagram about Jalen Hurts, you're defending the guy. So we're slandering a Super Bowl champion. Now I agree, Aaron Rodgers needed to win more Super Bowls over the course of his career. But the reason why we talk about that is because he is an all-time great talent, and because of his talent level, he should have won more Super Bowls. But when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, like that's the criticism of him is like, no. You're an all-time great talent, and you didn't have all-time great, team success. I guess you could say that, but he did need to play. Better.
But that's the talk with Dak. Oh, he's so great, but the team success not there. I'm so tired of this. Maybe I don't know if this is you.
In the last 3 seasons.
That's cool, but what did they haven't even won a divisional round. Like even Jordan Love beat him. That's his first. That's his first. He doesn't have
success, though. That's kind of something that I get
a
little annoyed.
Regular season success. Regular season success.
But he's been true. That's true. He's been in the divisional round 3 times in the course of his career. So there's something to be said about that. Not all these great quarterbacks are doing that. So, but no, he needs to play better. I won't hold you to that.
That's all I'm saying. And he's had some great rosters. Like Dak has had some great rosters around him. You said what?
Name me the years.
2016.
Yeah.
Rookie.
He lost in that
one. Played well in the playoffs.
I'll give him no. He played well in the playoffs. Even 2021.
Really? Was that team that good? Because I didn't think they were that. I knew the 49ers were going to beat them. I knew going into that game, I'm like, they're losing the 49ers here. I thought that roster was
Jimmy G. You just knew.
I knew because it's a team sport. I didn't trust.
It's a better team. Man.
I didn't trust.
Okay, hold on. We can probably say the 49ers were better. But
it was close because the Niners were struggling.
And the Cowboys were at home.
They had to go on a run to make the playoffs.
But then again, like when your team commits 14 penalties, I literally saw plays where Dak was picking up a first down, and then it's like, oh wait, it gets called back because there's holding, and then not only is there holding, the next play there's a false start. That was a really poor.
You gotta get it done, bro. You gotta get it done.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts wouldn't have got that done though. So
yeah, I'm not seeing.
All I know is
Jalen Hurts couldn't beat Tampa Bay this year.
I can't believe the stat you said about Hurts, that he's 0-4.
I did not know that stat. Yeah, that's a crazy stat.
When his defense allows, what was it, more than 7? That's ridiculous.
That is
Cherry ass picking stats. Cherry ass that ESPN ass.
I mean, he's only beaten Daniel Jones and the Niners with no quarterback.
What was his name?
He beat the bro.
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
Can we keep it real for a second?
I mean, he's been.
Can we keep it real?
What did he do in Super Bowl though? What did he do in Super Bowl though?
Wait, hold on. Wait. I have a question.
I'll give it that.
I have a question for you because you brought up Dak. He like playing bad teams in the regular season, this and that. Do you tax Jalen Hurts for his run besides of course he had the amazing game in the Super Bowl, but his to the Super Bowl, who y'all played? The Giants.
Wait, what you mean?
Giants.
The Giants. We were
Top
competing.
team.
You cannot tell me Dak wouldn't have made it. You
It was
cannot
both.
convince me Dak wouldn't have
Dak
made
would
it.
have.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Cannot
not gonna.
convince
Dak
me.
would have
Yo, yo,
smacked
one
them
mic,
around.
yo, yo.
Dak
Both
would
of
have
them.
smacked
Let me
them
explain it.
around.
Let me explain it. Hold on.
Bro, hold up. The Cowboys
MJ.
was a 7.5-point favorite against the
M-
Packers. It was
MJ.
Come on.
Wait,
And
come on.
then
Let me explain. Let me explain why I told you that. Hold on.
Dak
Hold on.
would have smacked the Giants around. Come on.
Hold on. Let me explain why. This is why I say that. Because look, y'all played the Giants, who we all know y'all was way better than the Giants. Then y'all followed up, played the 49ers, and Brock Purdy got hurt. So you played Josh Johnson and CMC at quarterback. And then Jalen Hurts had the immaculate Super Bowl game.
CMC did play quarterback that
Right.
game.
I'm just saying.
But the thing is,
It was
hey,
bad.
I could see all that being like a factor into the whole Jalen Hurts not top 10 narrative if he didn't perform in the Super Bowl. But he was balling. He was balling in the Super Bowl. And literally, if it wasn't for James Bradbury, who's trash, he's a bum. If he wasn't getting that holding call, we talking about Hurts, a Super Bowl MVP.
What if Hurts doesn't fumble the ball? You gonna absolve Hurts for fumbling the ball?
We're not gonna talk about the man generate over 400 yards of offense.
He fumbled the ball, but that fumble was crucial. That's the reason. I mean, that's a big reason why they lost. If you don't fumble that ball,
What about
right now? That matters.
MJ, didn't you say you got to get it done? Didn't you say that? You just said that. Like,
We gotta get it done.
Cannot be a one-way street.
It's funny you have that cherry ass picking stat. Oh, Hurts when his team scores more than 7.
you guys do it all the time with that.
The Chiefs had over 30 points. They had over 30 points in that game. He's going tit for tat with the greatest quarterback of all time. Top
About
two.
the two other playoff losses he had where they let up over 7
Both
points.
Both of them were versus Tampa Bay, by the way. Fun fact.
Okay, you're going against
that
Tom Brady.
That first one I don't care
And
about.
Baker
That
Mayfield.
Well,
first
the
one,
first
that first
one-
one
Going against
I don't care
Tom
about that
Brady.
first one.
Here's the thing
Oh,
about
oh,
you, right?
Oh,
The
one
first
mic.
one-
Does coaching not be taken into account with anything?
Does
Oh,
wait, does Dak?
Let's
Dak
not
not
play that
have-
game.
Mike
Let's
Dak
not
not
play that
have-
game.
What's his name at coach?
because Mike McCarthy.
Mike
said the whole-
McCarthy is better than Nick
It's
Sirianni,
trash.
though. No. Mike
No, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not next year.
Cowboys B knows this, though.
That's
He knows
like-
this. He knows this.
All right.
No,
Wait, hold on.
like,
Needles, man.
Is that even true?
I don't even know if that's even
Even
true.
if it is, it ain't moving no needle.
And then also too,
Mike
okay, so then also too, Cowboy. Can you explain why you think Micah Parsons is overrated?
I
We need to hear this.
want to hear this.
So Julie Epstein, she reports for Sports Illustrated. She got a quote from a anonymous defensive coach around I think it was the NFC or NFL in general. And what he said was that Micah Parsons, or a guy like Chris Jones, makes plays when they matter the most. Micah Parsons makes plays when they matter the least. And when you talk about certain games where it's like, Micah, we need you to step up here. We need you to be as good against this team, or at least 80% against this team as you were against the Carolina Panthers. I feel like a lot of the times people bring up Micah's sack numbers, and I'm like, dude, he had 3 sacks versus the Panthers, and one of those sacks came with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they were up by 25 points, right? Like that to me, Micah Parsons, he has to overcome some of the things that are come his way. Like when he's getting doubled or when he's getting trap blocked and stuff like that, other guys like Myles Garrett and all these other great defensive ends over the past, I don't know, however many years, they've fought through double teams. They make plays when things aren't necessarily ideal. And when we talk about, like, is Micah Parsons a great player? He's a phenomenal player. I'm not saying that he's not phenomenal, but what I'm saying is people act like he's a transcendent talent. He's not to this point, talent-wise, he's a transcendent talent, but it is not produced onto the field just yet. Phenomenal player, one of the best players at his position, but when people start comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, that's where I kind of just sit there and it's like, no.
Like
We weren't making these type of excuses for Lawrence Taylor, even though football discourse wasn't around back then, but we wouldn't have made these arguments because Lawrence Taylor produced at a very high level, regardless of really who he played. And that's not the case with Micah Parsons. So phenomenal player, one of the best defensive players in the league, but just not Lawrence Taylor. Like that's kind of my, gripe with some of these comparisons.
So with Micah, because there was some talk with, was it Malik Hooker, the corner, y'all safety?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying his comments about Micah not being distracted, with the podcast, you feel like that's a detriment to the team and that will hinder y'all season, like the locker room not respecting Micah? Because if you don't respect your best player on the team, you already beat for real.
No, I disagree with that. Like, look, here's the thing. The Cowboys have so many damn distractions as it is. They find ways to now. They have to do better in the postseason. I'm not going to sit here and say that people don't have a legitimate criticism when it comes to that. They find ways to be good year in and year out. When it comes to that, though, the reason why I'm not really tripping off that is because Micah Parsons isn't necessarily a leader on this team. And the role that he plays, edge rusher, pass rusher, to be honest with you, you're going forward. I kind of want those motherfuckers to be pissed off if I'm being honest with you. Like if it was a quarterback, I feel like it'd be a little different. If it was a different position, I feel like it'd be a little different, like off-ball linebacker or something like that. But I don't know, kind of like the position that he plays and plus that he's not really necessarily like a leader on the team. I don't know. To me, the podcast, it doesn't really make sense why he gets so much criticism for it because there's plenty of other players that do podcasts. He does the podcast during the season on an off day. Motherfuckers go out and play golf on an off day, right? Like he sits down for 30 minutes and talks football on an off day. Bleacher Report produces the whole thing. He probably sits down and talks for 30 minutes like we're doing here, and then he's on with his day. So I wasn't a fan of those comments by Malik Hooker, but I really don't think that, I don't think it's a distraction.
All right. So, Trey, who do you think is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
I'm kind of mad that Cowboy just stepped on my whole thing because that's exactly where I was going. You were supposed to come on here and just talk about Dak. Why you bring up Micah Parsons? I would have been.
But go ahead, Greg.
Oh yeah.
So this is my thing with Micah, right? So again, whenever we have these overrated conversations, I'm only talking about the way players are perceived versus what they actually are. Micah Parsons, great football player. No one's disputing that. The problem is when Cowboys started talking about the other defensive ends that he's being compared to, that right therein lies the problem because he's not a defensive end. He is a linebacker, point blank, period. When we talk about Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and all these other guys, these guys are 270 pounds. Like Myles Garrett is listed at like 275. During the season, like after training camp, when they do those official weights, because that's where that comes from. It comes from when they come into the combine and when they show up the first day in training camp. They all weigh in. Yeah, he 275 after working out the whole offseason. You know what he weighs during the middle of the season? 289, 287, something around there. Same thing with guys like Max Crosby, who are like, oh, yeah, he's listed 265. During the season, he's probably around 272 to maybe 278 if he get a little heavy. Like, these guys are able to actually perform their job of being a full-time defensive end. These guys can set the edge. They fight against tackles. They fight against double teams, and they can actually do their job. What the Cowboys are asking him to do right now is not capable. Like, he's not capable of doing it. But he's 240-something pounds. Like, he's listed at what, 248?
Something around there.
Something like that.
No, baby, this is not that. Even TJ Watt walk around at like 260.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa is a smaller defensive end, quote unquote, and he walking around at 265. Like, this is what this is the problem. We're comparing him to other guys that truthfully he should not be compared to. Like, even guys who are lighter, who are quote unquote lighter in the ass as pass rushers, like guys like Von Miller. Like, there's a reason Von Miller's going to the Hall of Fame because he was 250 something pounds and he would take a tackle, long arm him, and turtle the tackle. Like, that's not normal. Like, that's a level of power you don't see from someone that size. Micah Parsons ain't that. Micah Parsons is being misused to a certain degree. He's an off-ball. He is a Sam. Like, he is your prototypical Sam from the early 2000s. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, you know who, and this is gonna age me a bit because I'm up here with a bunch of young ones, but he's Julian Boulware.
You think so?
Not
Peter Bowl?
Not
Or
Julian.
Peter?
Not Julian. Peter. My bad. He's Peter. That's who he is. Like, Peter Boulware in that defense was a Sam linebacker. He lined up on the strong side. He played like he fought against the tight ends when they tried to climb up to the second level. We're running. He's playing off ball, and then when it came time for them to rush the passer, yeah, you put him on the edge and you let him loose. But he's not one of the best defensive ends because he's not a defensive end. He's a
100% agree.
And
No, I 100% agree. Bro, I 100% agree. I've been screaming this out for years now. I mean, like, when you look at that 2021 season with Dallas and see how they were using Micah Parsons, I think it's safe to say, like, probably top 3, top 5 defensive player in football, like, as a rookie. And to be honest with you, when he was playing more off the ball, that was when he was at his best. His best season was his rookie season. And I fight with people all the time because they tell me, like, no, keep him on the edge. I'm like, no. Because here's my thing. When you're an off-ball linebacker, especially against the run, you're better put in a position to make plays against the run. Because, you know, if you're chasing down a guy, let's just say it's a left side run and you're chasing down a guy, like, and you're playing on the left side or the right side, I guess that would be the right side of the defense. You know, it's a lot easier to make a play as a linebacker than it is as a defensive end. Like, you can kind of, you know what I mean by that. Like, as a linebacker, you can force fumbles. You can make plays in the backfield. Momentum is more on your side, playing from the second level. And when it comes to that, Micah Parsons is an absolute animal when it comes to that. And that's kind of what I say, like, tackles for loss and forced fumbles to me are just as important, you know, maybe a little less important than sacks, you know, and that's my big argument when it comes to that. Like, if you're playing him on the edge, you're putting him in position to make plays as a pass rusher. If you play him as off ball and, like, kind of mix it up between off ball and playing him on the edge, you're now putting him in a position to make plays as a pass rusher and against the run. So I 100% agree with you, Trey.
When Gus Bradley had him, that was probably the best version. Yo, that's insane.
That's what are we doing? What are we doing?
Hold on, Trey.
Yo,
Hey, Trey.
lock in, bro.
That is so unbelievably false.
That's just he your point on leave him be. So Trey, hold on. So Dawson, who do you have as the most overrated player in the season?
Okay, so y'all went with star players. I'm gonna go with an average player. I don't think he's average. I think this guy's terrible. I think this guy is generally not good at football. He was a top 13 pick a couple years ago. Jordan Davis is not good.
Oh,
Jordan Davis is not good. He's supposed to be an elite run stuffer. He's a good run stuffer, and he gives you absolutely no pass rush. None. Nothing. Awful technique. No hands. A straight bull rush. And he's not even that strong in the bull rush when I watch his tape. Jordan Davis is damn near a draft bust. I'm going to say it. Damn.
And they picked
came with the heat.
Bro, they picked him over Kyle Hamilton, too. Kyle Hamilton was the next pick.
Okay, wait. Everyone slow down. Hold on.
Okay. That's hindsight, though. That what you was about to say.
No, it is.
In what world is Jordan Davis a bust?
I don't think that's hindsight.
Jordan Davis and Kyle Hamilton as prospects aren't even on the same planet.
And
Kyle Hamilton was miles better of a prospect than Jordan Davis. Miles.
And Howie Roseman does not catch enough slack for that. He does not catch enough slack for that.
Okay.
You're gonna miss. You're gonna miss. He has them hits. Everybody has misses and hits, bro.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Misses are bad,
But
though.
that's not. But Jordan Davis ain't no bust, bro. Did y'all not see
how
what
is
he
he
did
not a
with
bust?
tracking down? This man
He shouldn't
tracked
have been
down
tracking
Josh
down.
Allen, bro.
One
He
play
tracked
at a
down
play.
Josh
That's
Allen,
one
bro.
play.
Oh my
He had a
God.
free
I
hand.
don't care.
Come on,
That's
bro.
his potential. That's his
Everyone-
I
potential.
don't.
Everyone-
Jordan
Kyle
Davis in
Hamilton,
2
right.
years. Jordan
Kyle
Davis in
Hamilton-
2 years has 2 sacks.
And Kyle Hamilton.
No,
Kyle
he's gotta work
talking
Hamilton.
on his
about?
condition.
And his team they just drafted is already elite.
Guess what? You
That's
know what?
1 year.
Slow down
You
for a
can
second.
say potential with all that.
What are
Kyle
we
Hamilton
talking
just
about?
made first team All Pro. So I don't know.
All right.
No,
cool.
no,
And his
like,
teammate
sure.
and his teammates elite already.
Hold on, Trey.
Yes.
Hold on.
Jalen Carter's elite.
JJ raised his hand. JJ, go ahead.
All right, Nick.
Jordan Davis has 3 tackles for loss as a quote unquote elite run stuffer. What are we talking about?
That's bad.
Yeah,
Nobody called him elite.
I had the hot take. I had the hot
He
take
was
that he's
supposed to be an
on
elite
first
run
round.
stuffer.
I
He's
just
a
want to
B
say that.
rusher. He's a B rusher, and he got
Took
work.
that.
on his
Okay, so
condition.
look. So Nick, I want to tell you this, right? I can see your point of view for what
When
they
Zach
drafted him for.
Seiler's better than you
For-
and half the panel doesn't know who that is.
I
What
see
we
what your
talking
point of
about?
view
Zach
is.
Seiler's nice.
That is
Zach Seiler's
crazy. I can see what your point of view is when you're
How did
saying
Zach
for
Seiler
what,
just get that?
for what they drafted him for.
nice. I know he's
For what they drafted him for,
nice.
he hasn't been up to his the level of what you know what I'm saying he should be, right? The expectations that they gave him. But for you to go out here and they acknowledge the pass rush like they asked him to be a pass rusher,
No, but he gives
I
you
think
nothing.
that's a little nasty. I'm just
But
gonna
he
be
gives you
honest.
nothing though.
hold up. I got something for that.
I
got
think that's
something
just
for that.
nasty. Look.
Howie
Hold up,
Roseman-
real quick, just to finish this off. As a run stopper, I think he should still be better. I do think he should be
Yeah,
better. I
he
agree with
should.
you, Dawson. But I think the whole pass rush stuff, it's like I just think I
So
think that's
JJ,
nasty.
so
That's what they
JJ,
drafted
you would-
Jalen Carter for. That's what
So
he's there
JJ,
for.
you're saying you would draft a defensive tackle top 13 with no pass rush moves at all?
Yep.
He shouldn't have been drafted that high at all. He shouldn't have been.
And let me and to bring something up.
He was an overrated prospect. All this narrative about that he should go top 10. And listen, I get it. It's because he's arguably the greatest athlete, a defensive tackle, maybe ever. Like when he had that combine, perfect RAS score, ran a 4.78 at his size, ridiculous. But the thing was, yes, he was a 2-gap run stuffer. That's all he was coming out. Like Dawson said, no pass rush variety whatsoever. The ball rush isn't good. He didn't know how to use speed that well. And he was a rotational guy at Georgia. And compared to other guys like let's view other like big time note like Siaki Ika, way higher snap count. Deion Walker, way higher snap count. And you can say, oh, they were blowing teams out. But then you see the Bama game. That Bama game, by the end of the first drive, he was killing them. Absolutely killing them. After that first drive, he was gassed and he couldn't do anything because his stamina was gone. Because that was the first game that season where he had to play the majority of snaps because for the first time, they were playing a team on their level. And after that first drive, he just wasn't good. And that's why I was wondering, why do you want to take a 2-gap run stuffer in the top 15, who phenomenal athlete, great size, I get it. But with no pass rush in this game, yeah, there's upside, but it's just so far away. I just hated the idea of taking the top 15.
Hey, I need to add this. I need to add this as well. I watched a video from Jacob Sports with Seth Joyner. Seth Joyner's really tapped into that Eagles market. And he said that apparently Howie Roseman was talking to the scouts and said, why is Jordan Davis still available? And the scouts said back to him, well, we don't think he can be a great pass rusher. And Howie Roseman said, well, why not? And then they ended up drafting him. So they clearly had intentions to coach being a better pass rusher into Jordan Davis. The problem is when you draft a one technique that high, he better be able to rush the passer. He better be Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence, I guess you would call him a one technique.
Best in the world.
He's not,
Yep.
Dexter Lawrence is not no one. That's my point. You can treat Dexter Lawrence as a nose, but Dexter Lawrence got more. He's got way more stuff to do.
Well, yeah, he's a versatile defensive tackle. But I was just saying, if you would call him that. But
If you're gonna take a guy that high who is primarily a run defender, a guy you're gonna play as 0 shade, 1, 2 eye, whatever. Yeah, you better be able to at the very least push the pocket. I think the only reason why I'm trying to jump in and give some level of context, and I hate doing this because why y'all got me defending Georgia players? But the one thing I'll say is this: one, the Kyle Hamilton thing, it's a little bit of hindsight because I remember what the narrative was around Kyle Hamilton, and I also remember plenty of people not knowing exactly what to do with him, especially after he went to the combine and ran what he ran. Because the biggest thing was this guy is great in college. He seems like he has range. He's very versatile. How athletic is he actually? And then he underperformed at the combine, and it scared the crap out of a lot of people. So, one, we have to remember, hey, back then, the shoot, I almost called them the Cowboys. The Eagles, Jonathan Gannon was the one running that defense. They play a shit ton of quarters. If you're going to play quarters and constantly have a light box and live in quarters all the time, one of the things you need, like absolutely cannot go without it, is, hey, I need somebody who's going to eat a gap and a half, maybe two, every single play. That's why DJ Reader was as important to the Bengals when they were on that run in terms of them being able to play the style of defense that they had when they had Jesse Bates and all those guys back there. They lived in freaking quarters and covered quarter half. They did that all the time. They literally stayed in it almost the entire game. And the only reason why they were able to do that is because they would just be like, hey, instead of us filling that 8th spot with a safety when we drop him down in the box, hey, DJ Reader, you got 2 gaps. Handle that for me. It's the same thought process. I get it. We're looking back on it, and it's not playing out the way we thought it did. But at that time, it made sense. Also, another reason why they did it is because they were trying to eke out the last bit of production they could get out of Fletcher Cox as a 3-tech. Because for the longest time, they had been using him as a 1. And that's kind of what got him beat up to the point where he's like, you know what? I'm going to take my ass home. I done already did everything. Like, I done got a ring. I done got my money. Y'all done beat me to hell having to play 1 and getting double teamed. So they're like, you know what? Cool. We still got you for about a year and a half. And we still need a little more pass rush from the interior. So let's go take this big motherfucker. We're going to have him take all the double teams. And you can go work one of these guards one-on-one.
Hey, Trey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think 34-year-old Fletcher Cox should be outproducing Jordan Davis? Because that's what he did.
Okay,
and not only
I hear you. In their plans and in most people's plans, no. Like you would hope that he would do better. But also the role that they were asking him to play in that defense and the role that they're still kind of asking him to play to a certain degree, it's not one that necessarily shows up on the stat sheet. And we've talked about these guys like DJ Reader when we talk about the best defensive tackles in the game. And I was always like, hey, DJ Reader needs to be in these conversations. And people always went to numbers. And I was like, damn the numbers. Go turn on. Now, what I will say is the thing that's screwing up Jordan right now is the tape isn't good.
It's not good.
Okay, the tape isn't as good as people would like it to be. It's not absolutely putrid. Like, he's still doing his job. Now, mind you, there's a lot of other things that's wrong with that Eagles defense, which is
for sure.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the other part. That's the other part that we're also not acknowledging. They might have had the worst linebacking core ever.
Oh, and the corners weren't good,
especially either. For a good team. For a good team to have a linebackers that bad.
Core. And Dawson, as a coach, you know what's going to make your defensive tackle who's supposed to be 2-gap and look like a dumbass?
Your linebacker's not filling, right? Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
Your linebacker's not filling the right gaps. You know, their defense was just bad last year.
But that's why I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater yet. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna give him a little more time. This should be the year where he turns it up a little bit. Also, I will say this: the other thing that I forgot that just came to mind. Hey, I understand he needs to have his stamina and he needs to be in better shape. Y'all better find a way to get his fat ass back up to 350 plus. That whole 330 shit. No, you drained way too much power out of him.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I agree that he shouldn't have dropped to 330. Like he's at his best. He's at his best when he's a bigger guy. But that was my. But the thing was that was my issue.
Yeah.
Like that was my issue because my issue. Just real quick, and then you can go to Trent. Just real quick. That was my issue. Was if you dropped him too low, the power was going to be even more non-existent. Yep. But if you keep him too high where he is, and not even too high, if you just keep him where he is, the stamina won't be as good as other nose as other one tech.
Real quick, Trent.
That's why
that's the same thing. That's the same thing the Cowboys are doing with Mozzie Smith. They're trying to make him lose weight, and he's a 0 technique, 1 technique, and they're trying to make him a 3 tech. Makes no sense.
Facts. 100%.
So Donnie, who do you think is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
I don't even know. I mean, my answer a couple months ago would have been Kayvon Thibodeau because there was a lot of stat watchers that really look at those sacks and they're like, "Oh, he's up there with the best." No, it reminds me a lot of Greg Rousseau back in 2019 where people were just looking at those sack numbers and they're like, "Whoa, this guy is awesome." Then you watch it, and it's like, it's a lot of cleanup. It's a lot of
coverage sacks.
It's a lot of coverage sacks. It's a lot of stuff like that. And I really honestly think he kind of took a step back. I think the end of his rookie year, I thought he was playing his best ball. He was beating guys around the edge. He was using that natural bend that he has. And last year, it just I'm not going to say it wasn't there, but he did not take the jump I expected. And, you saw other guys take the jump. You saw Hutch take the jump. George Kalafdis got a little bit better. I mean, even Trevor Walker, I kind of crap on him a lot, but he definitely improved as a pass rusher from year 1 to year 2. And I think Kayvon's the one guy who just didn't. And I think getting Brian Burns definitely does it is going to help him. And also having Dex in the middle. So, all that should help him, I would assume. But it's the people that mainly stat watch. But I think people have kind of now accepted the fact that he wasn't as good as what the sacks say. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just say him.
Yo, JJ.
Yo.
What's the name? Who do you think is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
So I got one for you right now. I'm gonna be honest, and I think it's not really an indictment on him as much. I do think people have started putting him up a little bit higher than what he should be, but I think Deron Bland is.
I knew somebody was about to say that
in the NFC East. Personally, because I think what Dan Quinn, the style of defense that Dan Quinn ran, it definitely caters to the type of guy Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, all those guys are. And I like their style of football to an extent. But, I mean, you want to have those hyper-aggressive corners with good ball skills to be able to go get the football out the air, you know what I'm saying? Now, you're not going to throw nothing crazy around them, in my opinion. But really, honestly, I just think that some people, I've been around a couple of circles where they try to throw him in talks that I don't think he should be a part of. And that's what it really boils down to. I think he could be – he's definitely in that area of top 15. But, like, when you start throwing him in, like, the top 7, top 5, it's like when you start losing me. So that's the only thing I really have about Deron Bland.
Hey, I do. Because I'm a Cowboys fan. I do agree with what he says. Like if you're putting him in the top 5, top 10, he's definitely. I do agree with that. Like that's not a bad take.
All right, go ahead. What's his name? Durag. Who do you think is the most overrated player in NFC East?
Y'all took a lot of good options. I'm gonna lean Jaden Daniels. That's hey, now this is not. It's not because he obviously hasn't played a down of football yet. But this is league. What people in the media and what people in sports discourse. I feel like they hyping a little too much. I didn't like the idea of them taking him over Drake May. I never rocked with that. I think Drake May was clearly better. Not clearly, but comfortably better. I was comfortably took Drake May over him. So I already had an issue with that. Don't look at me like that, Trey. I think Drake May is comfortably better than him. The Washington's O-line, not good. They add some improvement. I still don't think it's going to be a good O-line. And we already know how his skills is processing the field as well.
Hey, they got that running back named Austin Eckler, though.
Christ almighty. Yeah, that's not yeah, I just don't see him being I don't know. I'm not high on him in that situation. I'm not high on Cliff Kingsbury being his OC. I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury can.
Oh, trust me, Cliff is not good.
Like he's not like that's like Kyler Murray Kyler Murray is so good because Kyler Murray is just that good. It's as simple as plain and
Shout
I
out.
don't think Cliff Kingsbury.
Hold on.
I've never seen an offensive coordinator refuse to run motion as much as Cliff Kingsbury.
Y'all be dragging Cliff Kingsbury sometimes where it's mad unnecessary. Like just to say that like Cliff didn't help out Kyler. It's so disingenuous.
I think it's more so.
That's mad disingenuous. You do understand?
I don't think it is at all. I think it's more so.
I just think it's just.
Wait.
I just don't know if it's.
I just want to. Y'all did telling me that Cliff Kingsbury is a bad OC?
OC, I don't know about, but offensive play caller where he does a head coach.
Nigga, he's OC. That's the OC.
I'm not high on because, like I said, that's not our offense. I'm not high on the NFL level.
Trent, he doesn't run motion, man. That's a problem.
Okay, so
his offense,
his
offense in the second half of the season gets so predictable, it's not even funny, and that's why it always collapses in the second half of the season. It happens real
quick. The only thing I will say, Trent, to the one thing you said about him being an OC versus head coach, I just think that whenever you're a play call as a head coach, you should have a lot more responsibility on your shoulders. And you know what I'm saying? Your judgment gets cloudy sometimes. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. But because he has less responsibility as an OC, but he still has a lot of responsibility. But it's just
tell me so much
the battle. You go ahead.
Concepts I just don't like either.
Hold on. Okay, look, Donnie, I hear you. The run concepts aren't great. Look, he's an air raid coach. None of their run concepts are great. Like just,
and that's why I don't really like as much in the NFL.
Look, I get it. The only thing I'll say in terms of your motion point, I'm not going to put all of that solely on Cliff when it comes to motion.
Yeah, part of it's on Kyler too.
Part of it is on Kyler because that's something he prefers.
Yes,
and that's
100%.
And that's something that some quarterbacks, specifically quarterbacks that come from that stock, like that tree of offense, they prefer.
Rodgers doesn't like it.
Yes, Roger.
No motion. They prefer static pictures of the defense. That way, if you see a safety rotating or somebody flying to the other part of the field, you're like, oh, they're doing that because they're supposed to be doing that, not because they're matching what we're doing, and now I don't actually know what the picture is pre-snap.
Right.
So I'm going to give him a little bit of grace on that, only because it's not all his fault. Like, were there plenty of missteps? Absolutely. However, as an offensive coordinator, yeah, we gotta lighten up a little bit when it comes.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Trey, you make it.
You know what? Maybe it's just because I was scarred for all those years.
Yes, you're scarred.
Trey, you do make a great point there because, like, I hear a lot where people are like, "Oh, well, this offensive coordinator for this quarterback is going to install more motion," but it's like that doesn't mean that it's going to 100% that the quarterback's going to play better. Like, you're right. Some quarterbacks do prefer that static picture.
Yeah. All right. So, Nigel, who do you think is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
There were a bunch of commanders I was thinking about. Jaden Daniels was like a faint thought, but I'm not going to say that just because he hasn't played. I'm going to go with – I'm surprised he still gets props to this day because he's – I don't know how old he is. He might be 34 or 35. Bobby Wagner, I don't know how he keeps making all pros at this point. As a one-trick pony in the middle of the defense, like I don't see how he keeps getting that credit. You said what?
The one trick is really damn.
So, yeah, it is. I'm not about to sit here and say he can't do that, but like, there's just more to that than playing linebacker, and being good at just that should not just keep warranting him all pros because back in Seattle he was a lot more versatile. So I'll go with Wagner.
All right, last one, Josh. Who do you think is the most overrated player in the NFC East?
Ooh, to be honest, both of these guys play the same position for the same team. But if I had to choose one, I'm going to choose Jonathan Allen because, one, I don't think he has a case to be a top 10 DT anymore because he regressed heavily against the run. So, yeah, I don't think Jonathan Allen's a top 10 DT. Guys like Christian Barmore and, like, I'd say – I think I would even take Vita Vea over him at this point. Like I feel like he's
You
underrated.
Patriots gas.
All
No
right.
one talks about Vita Bay anymore.
Barmore
All right.
is good.
So I'm gonna go back to MJ on this one, just to restart the clock. All right, MJ, who do you think is the most underrated player in the NFC East?
I'm gonna say Cam Jurgens. With the Eagles. And like I've been hearing a lot of talk that
Great homer picks. I like it.
It is. I mean, shit. I like the homer.
It's a homer pick, but it's a good one. I give it.
You feel me? I had to get my guy, but I just feel like a lot of people are saying that, and it's definitely a loss. Jason Kelce retiring is definitely a loss, but like I was hearing stuff like the Eagles' offensive line won't be the same. Like it's going to tank. Nah, it might not be as dominant as it was last season, but it's gonna be very, very good. And Cam Jurgens was handpicked by Jason Kelce to be his heir apparent under center. And I got full confidence that he'll have a Pro Bowl caliber year. And that offensive line who got Saquon in the backfield, I mean, he going to do CMC numbers next year. I mean, that's if you want to talk about like a breakout, and I don't even know if Saquon can count as a breakout because just like he's already known for real, but he's gonna put some Wilt Chamberlain numbers, bro. Like it's gonna be crazy. It's really gonna be crazy.
Wilt numbers.
I can't wait for it, bro.
Okay. So yeah, I would say Cam Jurgens, bro. I like this offensive line.
All right, Cowboy. Who do you think is the most underrated player in the NFC East?
I don't know if you can necessarily call him underrated because he was an All-Pro this year, but Tyler motherfucking Smith is that boy. Tyler Smith, I'm telling you this right now. I made this take not too long ago. He is 100%. Tyler Smith, to me, give it like 2 or 3 years, he's gonna be the best player on the Cowboys. That includes Micah, that includes CeeDee Lamb, that includes Dak, that includes all of them. He's going to be the best player on the Cowboys. Like, I don't believe that there's this big gap between like that first tier of young, great offensive linemen and Tyler Smith. Like, I think that this year he's going to break out, like really, really break out and be a top 3 to 5 offensive lineman in general in the league. So my pick's Tyler Smith because
You know what's the wild part about that, bro? What's his name? I remember when he got drafted. Oh, he came in. When he came in that training camp, he was like dumb light. They said he weighed hella small. I forget.
Yeah.
Was he?
They was gonna say he was gonna get dominated. Whoop-de whoop. This bro, he dominated. Hey,
Cowboys already knows my history with Tyler Smith.
Also, never forget the Saints chose Trevor Penning over him.
Respect you and I.
Here's the thing, though. You know, when it comes to Tyler Smith, like this was his first year playing guard too. Like he was 22 years old last year. He's 23, and he doesn't turn 24 until like May of 2025. So as a 22-year-old, first year playing left guard, I saw him dominate some of the best defensive tackles in football this past season. And I would even say this, like him having to play left tackle his rookie season, like, man, I think that took like a year of development away from him. Like I would have loved to have seen the player he would have been this year if he would have played left guard his rookie season. So yeah, for me, it's Tyler Smith. I do kind of want to say Jake Ferguson as well, because I think he's a gangster as well, but I got to go Tyler Smith.
Donnie?
Yeah, just real quick off topic. I've talked about this with Cowboys on his pod. Not a big Tyler Smith fan coming out of the draft. Definitely probably my biggest miss maybe ever. Had him as OT9 in the draft with a early 4th round grade. Damn. Biggest miss of my entire draft. I've been doing this since 2017. Biggest miss by far. But yeah, that was a swing and a miss. But no, for me, it's gonna be Osa Odigizua. I mean, when we talk about the best defensive tackles in the NFC, no one brings him up, and I understand it, because Micah and Dex get all the big, they get all the shine on the Dallas D line. Osa sneaky had a really good.
People can't remember his name.
I was going to say that. I was just going to say that.
Well, like, just say
That
Osa.
is hard.
Like, who cares? Just say Osa. Like, it can't be that hard. People aren't that stupid.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
It's like when people used to forget how to say Osa Human yours.
I was about to say.
Say Osa. It's not hard.
I mean, it was cold.
Oh,
And then
man.
just
I need people to understand. We all love football. We all engage and deal with this sport at different levels, but the average NFL fan is not that bright. I'm just going
Right at all. You go on IG.
I ain't gonna say everybody's stupid, but these
No. Say it. I'm not. 85% of the football world is dumb. That's what it is.
Look, they ain't no
85 is a little gas, but I see the point. I see the point.
The moment you start introducing names that got more than like 3 syllables in it, and on top of it, it's an African one, they ain't even trying.
People still don't know how to say to his name. It's crazy.
It's just Tua, bro. It's just Tua.
It's just Tua. But like, yeah, but no, just real quick, just to wrap it up on Osa. I mean, I think last year alone, you couldn't name 10 pass rushes better from the 3-tech spot than Osa. I don't think you could. He was lining it up at the beginning of the year. And one of his better games was against the Detroit Lions, and that is a very well-respected offensive line. You know, Frank Ragnar, Jonah Jackson was on that team. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the other name, but
Taylor Decker.
Taylor Decker.
Graham Glasgow in this area.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. I mean, just maybe the best offensive line in football, and I thought he had a really good game against them. And just an underrated player that no one really talks about. It is probably the name.
Yes.
Yes.
Yo, JJ.
Damn.
Who's your most underrated player in the NFC?
NFC East. My most underrated player in the NFC East is Jake Ferguson. I think he definitely goes under the radar as one of the better tight ends in this league. Honestly, I think people thought that they were gonna, kind of lose a step when Dalton Schultz left, and actually, I would be honest. I was looking at the belief too. I thought their pass game was not going to be just clearly off. But I did think it was going to be a little bit harder for Dak to get some stuff off. But I think Jake Ferguson actually does a lot of the same stuff that Dalton Schultz does, and if not, he does a little bit better at times. So I think he's definitely underrated. You don't really talk about them, especially because he got a star on his helmet. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
His yak is different.
So I have a genuine question, and this might start off maybe a big debate. I have a genuine question. Is Dallas Goedert really better than Jake Ferguson?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How big is the gap? Okay, so JJ.
It's not big. The gap.
It's not a big gap.
No,
It's not
a big
huge,
gap.
but he is better.
I think he's better, but it's not a big gap. It's not a big gap.
I think they're both around that 10, 11, 12 kind of range, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yo,
Is Goddard really that low? Is he in the 10 range?
And
Yeah.
one thing.
I mean, let's think about it. Kelsey, I'm taking Kelsey.
Yep.
I'm taking Kittle. I'm taking Andrews. I'm taking Laporta. I'm taking Pitts.
Yep.
Hawkinson.
I take Hawkinson.
When healthy,
I
yeah,
would
of course.
take-
Evan Ingram.
I would take Njoku. I would
Ingram?
take McBride.
There's a lot of really good tight ends in this league.
There are a
man.
lot of good tight ends.
I'm not okay.
And-
Okay.
and-
I'm not
and-
mad at it.
You know
I'm
what?
not
You
gonna
know what? Why can't I take Brock Bowers? No.
No, you're not.
Can I add this? And when it comes to yak,
Oh, Don Kincaid also.
when it comes to yak, Don Kincaid ain't better than Jake Ferguson.
I'm taking Goddard. I'm sorry.
I'm taking-
Give me.
I'm taking-
I don't think he's better just yet.
No.
When it comes to
I'll give
yak,
you McBride all day.
Yeah,
When
McBride
it-
is nice.
when it comes to
Yeah.
yak from the tight end position, Ferguson's probably top 5 in yak as a yak tight end.
Yeah.
Like his yak is kind of nice.
Yeah,
It's kinda
but see,
really nice.
that's another thing, which is why when Trent just asked a question about Goddard, I think that just is already swept under the rug with what Goddard does. I think that's literally one of his best traits as a receiving tight end is the fact that he is very active. He doesn't go down very easily. And, he does a lot after the catch and whenever he does get the football. So that's why I still think, even though Ferguson, like you said, Cowboys, I'm not gonna lie, he is very he's actually a great yak tight end in my opinion. I think Goddard definitely, when he's utilized in that scenario, is one of the better guys to do that. And then in RPO schemes and all that stuff, he sells he sells run schemes very well, and he gets out he always finds open space, and it's very smart with where he positions himself, which is why I still think he's better than Ferguson in that aspect.
Yeah, they're two really good players.
Yeah.
All right, Trey. Who's your most underrated player in the NFC East?
Okay. The most underrated. I'll show a little love to my guy, Frankie Louisville. So
yes, great name.
So that dude is probably one of my favorite watches as somebody who played linebacker growing up, and as somebody who's a defensive guy by trade. Watching like an old school Mike that learned new tricks to stay alive in the NFL. Like if you're out there playing linebacker right now as a high schooler and you're a bigger kid that's a run stopper and you're not able to necessarily like run and cover the way that some of these small little like converted safeties are doing, I suggest all of you kids that are watching this right now, go watch Frankie Louisville. He is an absolute monster. Like, he's amazing against the run, and he's a good enough zone defender. Don't ask him to play man because his heavy-footed ass gonna get cooked. But what he lacks in, I guess, fleet of foot and lateral quickness in terms of him being able to run with some of the guys like Kyle Pitts and all this other shit. He's a really good pass rusher. Like, you can turn him into an edge rusher on third down like he's Dante Hightower. Like, he's got real moves. This is going to be a very underrated part of that defense. Like, quiet as kept, Washington did a pretty decent job at the very least kind of replenishing a little bit of that front seven. Like, you get Johnny Newton, who's another guy you can throw into that rotation with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. Then you get Frankie Louisville. You can kind of let Jamin Davis play Will and stop having to ask him to do some of the things, quite frankly, that he's just not good at. And it'll help that front seven become a lot more dangerous. So that would be the guy that I would say, because obviously he played in Carolina. They suck, and wasn't nobody watching them outside of people who are Panthers fans. So since nobody's bringing up Frankie Louisville, I'm gonna shout out my dog, man. Keep knocking the head off.
All right, Dawson, who do you think is the most underrated player in the NFC East?
I'm gonna go with Deontay Banks.
Yes, sir.
A lot of guys talk about the rookie corners. They talk about the rookie corners from last year. Joey Porter Jr. The guy in the Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon. I just don't think Deontay Banks gets the credit he deserves. I'm gonna be honest. I think he can really be a top 15, top 10 corner, like in his prime. I think he has that type of potential. He just doesn't get talked about because the Giants weren't very good last year.
I swear to God, he's not that far off from Devin Witherspoon or Joey Porter.
He's not. He's really not.
I thought it was a shot he could have went top 10.
People were trying to make some like
Trent, it's gonna go down as the best cornerback class ever. I already said that pre-draft. I'm not even gonna lie. It will. Like, Christian Gonzalez, when he comes back healthy, won't be that guy. Witherspoon is already that guy. Porter Jr. already that guy. Banks, to me, is already that guy too. Like, these guys are studs.
Deontay is nice.
He's nice, bro.
He's dirty, bro. He's not that
and hey, since we're on the topic of the NFC East, I know it is a bit off topic, but Joey Porter Jr. got brought up. Hey, can we tax Howie Roseman for picking Nolan Smith over Joey Porter Jr.?
Not really, because Nolan Smith was a good prospect. Let's not
I like Nolan.
I still think Nolan.
Bro, hindsight.
We hear
Nolan
this
Smith.
How about we just wait?
We hear this a lot. We hear this a lot with the Eagles, though. They get all these great draft grades, and then they never really have great drafts. Like 21 was a great draft for them. But I think people need to start bringing that up, because we say with two prospects now, Davis and Nolan Smith, hindsight. I get it, but like,
I mean, I feel
Your
like
job
the
is
Kobe is even worse.
Not
To be
the
honest.
Kobe.
Oh my
Hey,
god!
listen,
Oh my god!
listen,
He's
hold
there for a
on.
minute,
In
but Lewis
hindsight,
hasn't
you
got
know
a
what? You're
chance.
low-key right. In hindsight, Isaiah Simmons was a good pick, but now it's not. So shout out Vance Joseph.
All right. Who's it on? It's on. Oh yeah, Durag. Who do you think is the most underrated player in the NFC?
I'm gonna show some more Giants love. Bobby Okereke, I
Cook.
think this year, because this is a guy like
Is it
obviously I feel like
Okereke, or is it Okereke?
I don't know, but every time I say Okereke, I get flamed for they flame me for it. So
I think
don't
it's
know.
Okereke.
That's what I
don't
thought
know.
it was.
That was
But-
my other pick, David. Was the
But yeah, because I look
Trey,
at
can
him.
you
Obviously, if you watch football, you know how good he is. But
said
from, like
Trey.
the mainstream is the consensus of him. The Giants, like I said, the Giants weren't good, so he's not getting a lot of screen time. He's not getting a lot of love. The way that front four that got boosted up with Brian Burns, I think he's going to show a lot more love.
He's gonna
That
make
Giants,
so
that
many
Giants is going to be so much
plays,
better.
They're underrated, man.
You're
They're-
going to see.
I'll say my.
I think he can be top 5.
I'll say my picks. I don't think Nigel and Josh is. I hope I don't. But I'm not gonna lie. To credit, what's the name? Talking about Bobby, Micah McFadden, right next to him. I'm not gonna lie.
Another
He made a bro. Oh my.
Trent, I don't think you
I
realize
thought
those two linebackers.
He went from Osama to damn. You actually good. Like
That
Bro, I
front
love
seven-
the-
I
wasn't gonna say
Bin
him.
Laden, I swear to God.
When it
I've
comes
been
to
telling Giants
jumps,
fans, man. I love this tape of Indiana. Like he's one of my favorite prospects coming out. Indiana, bro. When you see him come down here,
Hey Trent, with that D line too, they're gonna be making plays
Like-
all game, every
I'm saying,
game.
that's why I think Bobby's going to get the recognition he deserves. And I think he could be top 5 at the linebacker position. I think he can make that jump because you're going to see him be conclusive to winning football games. So yeah, I for sure.
I ain't gonna say Obama game.
Yeah,
Shit.
It's hard.
Hey, who was
Obama
Obama?
to
Oh, Mr.
Obama.
President Obama's vice president? Yeah, that's what.
Bobby? Oh boy.
Yeah, he went
Political.
He went from every time I saw him on my screen, I wanted to throw some shit to damn, like good shit. Like he was actually
I felt the
Yeah,
same
that
way
front
about
seven, nice. That front seven is definitely going to be that great.
facts. So
It's just the only problem with the Giants with that front seven is the depth, and if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the D
Because
line
that-
depth. D line depth.
If they stay healthy, man, oh man.
Because what's his name is never healthy for the
hey, but
Giants.
JJ, if I say this, I'm biased. But
Yeah.
just saying, if I say that, I'm biased. But Nigel, who is your most underrated player in the NFC East?
I already had a guy in mind. I very briefly thought about Micah McFadden, but I already had a guy in mind, so I wasn't going to say him. This pick is just off straight vibes. I swear to God, this isn't stat based. This is not stat based.
I respect it.
This is not like someone can correct me if I'm way off base here. I swear to God, every time I watch the Eagles and this guy's in the game, he makes a play. Milton Williams, I swear to God, he is actually good. Like Milton Williams,
Louisiana
like-
Tech legend. Absolutely.
outside of Jalen Carter, I feel like he was their best playmaker on that D line.
He's better
Outside
than
of
Jordan
Jalen
Davis.
Carter,
For sure, better than Jordan
he's definitely better than Jordan
Dude,
Davis.
I remember when he was getting
over
there.
Hassan
Do you
Reddick?
remember when he was getting
Over
there?
Hassan Reddick?
Because he ran a 4.6. Do you remember that? I
Yep.
do.
Wait,
And
over
they
Yeah,
were-
so
Hassan
Cecil
Reddick?
Demar is
I mean,
never
Reddick-
healthy.
Wait, what happened? What happened, Cowboy?
Over
Lovely.
Hassan Reddick?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, Reddick, I just kind of consider.
Reddick was the best player on that defense last
No,
year.
no, I'm not
Reddick
denying
was
it.
a
I'm
big
saying I'm
upside
considering him
motion,
more of a
bro. You're not
linebacker.
moving.
That's what I meant.
Oh, defensive.
I meant like hand in the
defensive
like, that's what I-
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
No, Reddick's a dog. Don't get but no, that's my pick though. Milton Williams.
Maybe a
Like,
Jets player. Maybe.
with him now getting more opportunity with no Fletcher Cox, with no Brandon Graham, I think he's gonna make a significant name for himself.
All right. Josh, who's the most underrated player in the NFC East?
So to describe this guy, like you guys know that picture of like the Bugatti with like the bring it down houses.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's literally Sam Cosby on the Commander's offensive line.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Yes, it is.
This man was one of the best run blocking guards in the entire league. I would argue top 3. And pass blocking wise, he only gave up 1 sack. Well, the rest of his line probably gave up like 30 plus sacks.
Yeah, that's
Like,
There's no player in the NFL that defines that more than Sam Cosby.
And you have to understand,
Andrew
his
There's
workload-
nobody.
Andrew Wiley is terrible, bro.
Yeah. And
They're
you have to
all
understand-
terrible, except for Sam Cosby.
And you
Yo,
have to
real quick.
understand, he had
Oh,
like
go
the
ahead,
hardest job in the league because you have to understand Sam Howell has some of the worst pocket presence ever, and he holds the ball on forever. Like the man had the hardest job in the entire league and only give up 1 sack. Props to him.
Wait, Josh.
Sam Howell's a bum. I'm sorry.
You just call Sam.
Here's my thing, bro. It's not all on him. It's not all on him.
You just called Sarah Cosme the dope dealer's new card.
Yeah, hey, man.
He cooked. He literally cooked.
Hey,
I can't lie.
He did cook. You know why? His left and right tackle, Brandon Coleman and Andrew Wiley, bro.
They just drafted
Brandon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They drafted Brandon Coleman like 4th round. Like, what did they?
Like, bro.
Oh, real quick,
that's their plan.
The Commanders really saw Andrew Wiley's Super Bowl performance on that wet turf and said, "Yeah, that's the guy I want."
Yeah, everyone's slipping on the field everywhere. Yeah.
Hold on, I just want to read this chat real quick before we keep going. Yo, Trevor New Scarborough got to say, bro, love the content game. Keep grinding. You're going to be viral soon. Hey, bro, appreciate you, bro. No bullshit, bro. Appreciate you. That means a lot.
10K.
Isaiah Rodgers a sleeper as well.
Hey, so Josh, back on you. Who's going to have the best offense in the NFC East?
Best offense? Yeah, I'm going to have to go with I'm going with the Eagles. Like, the run game's going to be crazy with Saquon Barkley having a top 3 offensive line of the league. Like, the receiving core, you quite literally can't play man coverage against the Eagles. Because they got A.J. Brown, arguably the best man beater in the league. Hot take. And then you have Devontae Smith. He's going to keep improving. He's just good at everything he does. And yeah, they're just going to be great.
You didn't even say
Nigel. Who's most under? Who's going to have the best offense?
Yeah, I mean, if the Cowboys were in another division, like maybe 4 or 5 other divisions, I'd probably say them. But the Eagles are just stacked basically everywhere. I do have more. MJ was talking earlier about the concern with the Eagles O-line. It's hard for me to say it's just that simple to just slide Jurgens in and it's just going to be straight. Like, they're still going to be a top 5 line. Like, I still feel like that's going to take time to gel. But once that does, like, once midseason hits and they hit that stretch run, I think they're going to be like a complete freight train. Like, so I got to go with the Eagles.
Durant?
Yeah, I think it's pretty comfortably the Eagles. The Cowboys' lack of run game is going to be going to hurt them. The receiving option outside of CeeDee Lamb, that hurts him as well. I think it's the Eagles comfortably.
Dawson.
Yeah, it's the Eagles. Just like Dave said, I mean, we're trusting Zeke Elliott to carry the run game in 2024, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, prime Zeke, amazing, but damn, like
2024?
2024.
Rico Dowdle breakout season.
Ohio State Zeke shall return.
Yeah, that's not coming back.
Trey, who's yours?
It's the Eagles. I don't even. Yeah, like, look, I get it. Last year wasn't good. Brian Johnson disappointed a lot of us. The reality is that's still a top tier offensive line. Saquon Barkley not only still has gas in the tank, he now has a chip on his shoulder, which is the last thing he needed. Like, this is probably one of the most talented running backs to ever play football in terms of like athletic ability. And you just gave him a little extra juice in terms of, oh, cool. Y'all didn't care enough about me with the Giants when we sucked. So now y'all let me go to the division rival. And then on top of that, y'all releasing
Hard Knocks, yeah.
Y'all releasing the private conversations.
Yeah.
For content. Now I'm getting attacked in my DMs. Hey, guess what? When we play the 2 times we play y'all, I'm walking up to Sirianni, grabbing him by the front of his shirt and saying, I'm getting no less than 30 carries tonight. Do you understand me? No less than 30. You give me any less than 30, me and you gonna have to run the fade after the game.
I don't care if we win by 30.
There was a report though. And the Giants basically offered him the same contract the Eagles did.
I know.
I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is, if I'm Saquon, whether that's true or not, that's supposed to be a private conversation. You have now released.
Yeah, they bugged out with that one. They're tripping. They should have done that.
You released that for content purposes. You put that on Hard Knocks. So now, everybody blowing up. Everybody blowing up my DMs. I can't even go on Instagram to go watch nothing funny for a couple of seconds. Because some jerk from freaking Oradell, New Jersey is telling me to go up the street. because I didn't take pennies from a sorry ass team. Like, nah, bro. Every time I see you, it's up.
PTA.
Being offered the same contract the Eagles gave you is not equivalent for what
Not with that boo-boo. Not with that boo-boo.
Not with that O-line.
I deserve more money from you guys. The Eagles can offer me what they offer me, but I'm going to a better team. So, like,
there's a reason
you want me to stay here? So money talks, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. JJ, who's your most one of the best offenses?
I'm pretty sure we about to beat a dead horse, man. So I feel like we should just move on and go ahead and know that.
You want to know? Can I make a counterpoint to this? Okay. Dallas had the number 1 offense in the league last year, points per game wise. Dallas had the number 4 offense in the league in 2022. They had the number 1 offense in the league in 2021. So this notion that for sure the Eagles will be better when this is going to be the second year in a row that they're going to have a new offensive coordinator. Are we sure Jalen Hurts is like this elite quarterback that people tried to tell me he was a year ago? Because let's be honest here. He's not an elite quarterback. He's not an elite.
Define elite quarterback. Hold on, wait.
He's not top 5.
Is he? Then he's not elite. He's not an elite quarterback.
Contradicting himself. Wait, time out.
I don't think.
Cowboy, you was just talking about he was a top 10 quarterback, and now you got questions about Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I do have questions about Jalen Hurts because here's the thing. When we talk about, Chris Sims came out with the take back in 2022 that he got cooked for all over social media when he said the Eagles would still be a good team if Gardner Minshew was the quarterback. Shane Steichen was the play caller for Jalen Hurts. The Colts this year, with way less talent than the Eagles had in 2022, almost won their division with Gardner Minshew as their quarterback.
That's so disingenuous.
Wait, again,
I can't lie, bro.
Is it
That's so disingenuous considering the fact that
that's not the example of being disingenuous.
How is that disingenuous? By telling
they had Osama bin Laden as their OC.
Did you see the passing costume they're running?
No. Hold up.
They were in no RPO.
Jalen Hurts took me out of context. You guys took when we talked about that 2022 season. Chris Sims said if you put Gardner Minshew on that 2022 team, they would win a lot of games. Next year, I'm not comparing the 2023 Eagles offense to the 2023 Colts offense. I'm not doing that. So Brian Johnson has nothing to do with this. 2023, the Indianapolis Colts won 9 games. I don't think Anthony Richardson won a game for them that year as their starting quarterback. They almost made the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. So Chris Sims was not wrong when he said that. And let's be honest, are you trying to tell me that the Colts of 2023 had nearly as much talent as the Eagles of 2022? I disagree with that.
Comparing that shit, and this is where you start losing.
I can't believe Gardner Minshew's getting credit and his name isn't Hellfire speaking.
I'm not giving Gardner Minshew credit. I'm giving Shane Steichen credit. That's where I'm trying to go with that.
I have a huge question.
You go ahead, Josh.
Which team was dead last in the use of pre-snap motion?
I don't know. Who was it?
Was it Arizona or was it Dallas?
No,
Eagles. I think it was
literally
Eagles.
the Eagles.
Not Dallas. I don't know why it's Dallas.
But what does that have to do with this? But
he's talking about 2022 Eagles.
We're talking about 2023, though. We're talking about
this is one component of how much the offense changed, and then they weren't utilizing RPO whatsoever.
What does 2023 have to do with this?
Yeah, he's not talking about 23 at all.
I'm not talking about that at all.
Wait, hold on, but to go back to the main point, you was talking. The reason why everybody's saying the Eagles probably gonna have the best offense. Yeah, you brought up the Cowboys being number 1 points per game last year and top 4. The Eagles just got a top 5 running back with this offense.
Can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? But is that not true? Did he not have 3 lower leg injuries or lower body injuries?
Can Dak stay healthy? That's the game we're gonna play.
If you want to do that, I can also say Saquon's going to a situation he's never had in his fucking life where he has great weapons around him and they got top tier O-line. So I'm probably not going to think he's going to get hurt.
How can you say that? How can you say for sure a 27-year-old running back?
I say I'm going to lean towards him not getting hurt because you can't stack the box with Saquon Barkley. And also, too, like the last time he got hurt was a fucking, what's his name? bro, like a major injury that Saquon Barkley had.
2020, the Bears.
Badass luck. The nigga stepped on his ankle,
It was a 20
ankle, and he got a fat ass kneecap on his ankle. Like
It was a 20
I'm not worried about Saquon Barkley getting injured because he's going in with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and a top 5 line.
The touches, yeah.
but
He can get hurt.
again,
You can say he can get hurt. That's not what I'm saying.
But no,
All
no.
I'm saying
And
is,
here's the thing: I'm leaning towards the Eagles. But what I'm saying is this whole thing where it's like, oh, for sure, 100%. Like I think that's a
It's
little
not.
I don't
disingenuous.
think it's for sure.
It should be for sure. That should be for sure.
We're looking at two
Sure.
potential top 5 offenses, man. It's just
Yeah,
I think it's close.
that's where I push back. I'm saying it's the Eagles.
Hold on, real quick. We're maybe potentially looking at 2 top 5 offenses. We're actually looking at a potential all-time great offense. If this Eagles offense, what we say is, we're looking at an all-time great offense. This happens. We're looking at an all-time great offense. Like literally, we haven't seen.
Say one more time. Say one more time.
I disagree with
Say
that.
it one more time.
I disagree with that. I 100%.
You're looking at an all-time potential offense.
How?
I disagree with that.
Trey, what are we looking at?
We are looking at the Eagles. To me, in my opinion,
Are they
all-time fucking great offense.
Okay, does Kellen Moore not have nothing to do with this? Does play calling have nothing to do with this? Are we sure that Kellen Moore is a great play caller? We sure about that? Because I was right about
Wait,
Kellen Moore.
Wait.
Remind me again. Who's the OC?
Last year, Brian Johnson.
No. Who was the OC now?
Of who?
The fucking
Eagles.
Who's the OC?
Who's the OC? Who's the OC of the Eagles?
Ask me the question. I don't know.
Who's the OC of the Eagles, Cowboy? Who's the OC of the Eagles?
Right now, Kellen Moore.
Has Kellen Moore not led great offense with the Dallas Cowboys?
Literally. Yeah. Cowboy Cowboy just said Dallas had a top whatever defense in 2021.
2021. Come on.
Yeah.
And in 2020, that's
Lock in.
Come on,
Is Kellen Moore not much of a? Is Kellen Moore and Brian Johnson not here when it comes to coordinators?
Yeah, Brian Johnson.
Like Brian Johnson had no former play calling experience before that season. Like it's night and
Yeah,
day.
he's out there like Matt Canada.
Dude, he didn't know what he was doing. Like, he didn't know.
So I'm gonna ask. So again, we're talking about the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, with Kellen Moore. I think even though I don't think Kellen Moore is not that crazy, it's a way big of a fucking step than fucking Brian Johnson. You have a top 5 running back. You have one of the best O-lines in the league. You have AJ Brown and fucking Devontae Smith with Dallas Goedert. Come on, gang. This will look like an all-time offense.
Did he get fried?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he looked frozen for a little bit.
I'm sorry. I don't know how this don't look like an all-time.
Yeah, he literally was just saying the Cowboys had great offenses in 2020.
Also, that points per game stuff is so because
Josh,
Cowboys got a bunch of defensive touchdowns and shit.
Josh, I'm asking you this though, because you
That
said
is
Brian
true. They get
Johnson
a
was the
good
first-time play caller, right?
Yeah.
I do want to know. So, how do you feel about a new first-time play caller that's going to be in the NFC?
For the Falcons?
Yeah, Zach Robinson.
Zach Robinson?
Yeah.
Zach Robinson had a way better resume in terms of like if you're comparing it to Brian Johnson, like the resume is night and day.
Yeah.
Like he was way more incorporated in that McVay offense than Brian Johnson was incorporated in any other offense. Like it's night and day.
Fair,
Like the
but,
Falcons offense would be good.
but would you also agree that he still has like never called a play in the NFL?
Oh yeah.
And so you would have but you still would have more faith and trust in him than Brian if you were to look at Brian Johnson versus him.
Yes, because I feel like Zach Robinson still played a pivotal role in the Rams offense as a whole. Like even though he wasn't play calling, like he still played a huge role in that offense. Like
Yeah,
And there's some other. Yeah.
I just think like, bro, this offense can literally be special. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. If you really think about their offense, who's their worst player on offense?
The Eagles?
Yeah, who is it?
Probably Tyler.
I don't know.
They're in 11. Whoever's going to be
their worst start on offense is probably
whoever's going to be playing right guard or their slot receiver.
Is that Dickerson? No, Dickerson played left guard.
Paris Campbell?
No, that's their left guard.
That's what I'm saying. If they're in 11, maybe Paris Campbell.
Right guard.
Paris Campbell.
I think their right guard's going to be like Tyler.
Yeah, it's Tyler Steve. He's the worst. He's the worst player in the offense.
Yeah, or it could be their because I think their slot. They're having a position battle with their slot. It's either going to be Anais Smith or it's going to be Paris Campbell.
Oh wow!
Honestly, bro,
Good.
play Anais Smith. Bro.
Yeah, my boy.
That's a rookie.
Really?
Anais Smith.
I like Paris Campbell.
I just want to
see.
Anais
Have Teagan acting up, man.
Anais Smith is actually good, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to see.
Hey,
don't let terrorist Jimbo Fisher.
Mo City in the building. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Man, shout out to Matt Smith, bro. What's the name? Not gonna lie, but yeah, my boy Cowboy. What's the name? His power went out sadly.
Oh, damn.
I was wondering. He was frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, but Josh, back on you. Who's gonna have the best defense in the NFC East?
Best defense. Ooh, it's an interesting conversation. But
I think it's pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Easy is easy.
Easy.
I think it's pretty. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's pretty.
I think these defenses are close, but like
I think there's two defenses that are close.
yeah, I think the Eagles and Cowboys defense is really close. To be honest, you guys have to
We throw
understand.
the Eagles in there. We throw the
You said
Eagles.
Cowboys. I think
Cowboys. Cowboys and
Eagles.
Eagles. They weren't even on my mind.
I'm thinking of I'm
Okay,
thinking.
you're talking about the Giants.
Cowboys not being on your
Giants.
mind is crazy.
I mean, the Giants.
The Giants secondary still is like up in the air.
Yeah, they lost
so.
Xavier McKinney. That loss is
But
like.
JJ,
Damn, well, your front seven that damn good though.
Wait,
But like-
we've had this conversation though. You know how you get a better secondary? You got an
Great
OD
front
pass
seven.
rush.
Come on, great front seven.
Yep.
That is true.
Yeah,
I mean, that is true. But
It's
That
still.
pass
crazy.
rush is crazy. I'm
Pass
like,
rush
don't
is.
know.
But I think I'm gonna bank on my boy Quinyon Mitchell. I think he's gonna be a stud quarter in this league. I think Cooper DeJean. He's not. I don't think Cooper DeJean's gonna start off the rip from like playing the nickel.
I think he
he's gonna
starts at slot.
Yeah.
That's what I think he does.
I think Avonte Maddox is probably
Him
gonna
or
be starting
Maddox?
beginning
Yeah, I was
of the season.
I
And I
think
think
DeJean
CJ Gardner
will be
Johnson's
solid.
gonna be still good. Bryce Huff's gonna be good. So I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, like the Eagles revamped their entire bro. See, I feel like the worst part about the Eagles, if we're just gonna still be honest, is still that linebacker.
That
group,
linebacker
bro.
group is so trash.
So,
Devin White.
It's
Devin
still
White.
low key, not.
Doo-doo.
Devin White.
Oh my
Well,
God.
listen, as long as the Kobe Dean is on the field, I mean, it's an upgrade.
What you mean? They're gonna have Jacoby Dean and Devin White right next to each other.
Nicole
Oh,
Dean
great.
is shorter than me.
So disgusting.
Dude, that is like,
Kobe Dean's really 5'11", lock in.
That's a 9-man defense.
Didn't both those guys win Buckus Awards too?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Gene and
Oh, he's back.
That's terrible.
yeah.
Horrible.
Devin definitely
That's
did.
horrible.
Yo, Cowboy.
I love N'Kobe, man. I'm so mad he sucked.
Yeah, I just realized Dan Quinn took a whole bunch of Cowboys players with him to the Commanders. Like,
Tyler Biadasz.
Which is why I was about to go and say I
And
feel
let's
like
be
personally,
honest.
I don't think you should underrate the Commanders defense because I think Dan Quinn is still like I think he's one of the best defensive minds in the league. And so regardless of who he has on his teams, he's always consistently made their defenses just better than what they should be. So I think we shouldn't underrate the Commanders on that side of the ball.
I think it's on Nigel. Nigel, who do you think will have the best defense?
I don't think the Cowboys should be dismissed in this conversation. I think Zimmer is not that big of a it's not a huge change from Dan Quinn. I think Zimmer's a good defensive coach. I think the best defense, I'm gonna go with the Giants. I think that pass rush is just OD. With Brian Burns now. And obviously with Dex. So and that's gonna help out their corners a lot. We already talked about Deontay Banks. They have some other young guys back there. So I'm gonna roll with the Giants.
Tyler Rubin, a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Who's their CB2
think
going
that's
to be?
the
Is it going to be Flott? Is it going to be Flott?
Yeah, Cordell's gonna be probably the nickel.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yams. No, I'm playing.
Chill.
Yeah.
LSU legend, man.
Not too much.
LSU.
Yeah, I watched him.
Yeah.
Trey. Yep. Who's yours? Best defense in the NFC East?
I kind of struggle with this, if I'm being honest. If you're asking me on paper who's probably the most complete right now, I would say the Giants. Between having Dex up there, you traded for Brian Burns, so now you got Brian Burns and Kayvon. You actually have linebackers for. It's amazing. The moment I stop rooting for the Giants is the moment they actually get fucking linebackers. It's the most amazing thing. Like, I spent my entire football life rooting for you, sorry bastards. And
You're not messing with Mark Herzlich like that.
hold on, not too much on my dog. Because
Respect Blake Martinez, man.
Yeah. No, we won't.
Blake Martinez don't get no respect.
He said, "No, we won't."
Not only will we disrespect him, we will disregard him. But yeah, it's amazing to me that literally since Antonio Pierce broke his neck, I have been waiting for them to get a linebacker. And y'all spent a decade and a half just putting bullshit out. And it literally took me being like, you know what? Cool. My daddy don't work for y'all. Y'all fired him. Fuck y'all. For y'all to be like, oh, now we got linebackers. You guys, now I hope y'all give up 30 every game. Y'all getting on my damn nerves. But all the funny shit aside, you got a good front seven. You got, at the very least, you got a corner that you can bet on with Deontay Banks. Like, if nothing else, like, you can have the kid say, hey, you know what? Cool. We got, I don't know, Jetta's coming in. We not giving you no help. Go work. And he's capable enough to have a fight with him. I ain't saying he gonna lock Jetta's up. He can put all the best receivers in a box. But if you decide,
he can stand his ground.
Yeah, if you decide you're like, you know, we're not giving you no help, it's 1-on-1, and we just gonna, the way we play, we just gonna push 5 over 3 everywhere else, and you just gotta win your matchup. He's good enough to do that on a week in, week out basis. So if anybody outside of obviously the Cowboys would have something to say about it, I would think it would be the Giants. But honestly, I think it'll probably still end up being the Cowboys, because the one thing that worries me about the Giants in terms of their defense being good is they're gonna be on the field all the damn time. That offense is terrible. That offense is dog shit.
You say logistics?
No, Trey, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's gonna be a point.
That's gonna kill them. Like, people do not understand. Part of being a good defense is getting off the damn field. If your offense is fucking garbage,
all I'm gonna say is the offense ain't gonna be as bad as I think it is.
No, the offense is gonna be. Hey, Trent.
Respect Devin Singletary, bro.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, again.
It's not about Devin Singletary. I think our receiving core.
Hold on.
Well, it's finally when my pops see the Giants, we finally have a decent receiving core. I think the receiving core is actually gonna be pretty good.
We're gonna be talking about the Giants receiving core like it's Malik and them.
Receiving core
like
No, respect Darius Slayton.
Respect Wandale.
Darius Slayton of all
it's
people.
Malik and them.
Respect.
It's Malik and them, bro. That's literally what they are.
Chill. Relax on. Watch your mouth about Wandale. You fucking bugging.
Look,
the father of Riley Moss. Yeah, we know.
Look, everyone slow down. The receiving core is fine. I'm not mad at that.
Evan Neal still plays for them. That's the problem.
What y'all talking about?
They still got Evan Neal, man.
Daniel Jones, your offensive line's trash. Yeah, this is
What are we
bro?
Hey, they got Drew Lock.
Hey.
They got. Hey, you're right.
Look,
you're
bro,
right.
all I'm gonna say.
I still believe.
All I'm saying is. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but I do understand your question marks OD. That's just what it is. So I'm not gonna. Can't even tell you. That's just what it is. Not gonna lie. So who is it on? It is on JJ. JJ, who you think's gonna have the best defense?
Yeah. So like I said, I agree with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are gonna have the best defense in the NFC East. Definitely, especially on paper, I do think they filled a lot of needs in their secondary. I think the worst part about them is their linebacking group. But you know, when you have a supplementary pass rush the way they do with the guys that they have up front, and then you have the guys that can still take it away, going deep, I feel like regardless, you have a really solid, really good group. Your linebackers definitely still need work. I think your linebackers are very pivotal in a lot of stuff, but in today's league, if you can make you've seen teams make it work the way they're currently constructed right now. So I believe in that aspect of what they're going to do right there. I want them to improve that area, but yeah, I just think a team that you should watch out for though defensively should be the Commanders in my opinion. So, what were you saying, Dawson?
I was going to ask. Besides Bryce Huff, is the other edge rusher? Is it dead? Nolan.
It's gonna be Nolan. It'll be Nolan.
But I think that he finally gets his opportunity to really go out there. And
I like Nolan Smith.
They're gonna have the 2021 Georgia D line out there.
Yeah. Listen,
and Milton Williams.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to
Georgia and Louisiana Tech. That's a good combo.
And when y'all keep talking about Brian Johnson being on Sama, we're not gonna forget about Sean Desai in the football. That defense was bad, and you going for Sean Desai, getting Vic Fangio back, that might be the biggest upgrade in the offseason.
Well,
so
Josh Sweat.
Vic Fangio Vic Fangio, he's gonna come in, get things right back in order. Their secondary has depth now. Like they didn't have no depth last year. Niggas got hurt last year. It got ugly. But you got depth.
Is Bradbury still on the team?
Yeah. I think they're safe.
He's not slated as a starter.
They drafted a corner at 21 and 40. Yeah. That dude is not.
And Daniel's great. We talk about those rookies.
No, do you mean a safety? No, let me.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna probably get snapped.
We talk about those two rookies.
Oh, he's gonna play safety.
They got Zach Rogers as well. Zach Rogers, from what I heard, and Camp has been giving them good.
Yeah, Don, you know he had a chance.
So.
Hey,
that secondary finally got.
You don't have to. Why can't? Once again, I compare him to Trent. Okay, let me stop.
You get Chauncey Gardner back. DeJean Quinn, y'all, they might be impactful rookies. Isaiah Rodgers, I think he's good. He just missed a whole year because he was bad. He was a good corner before then. So your depth got that much better. So I'm definitely going to the Eagles.
All right, Dawson.
Oh, I'm going with the Giants. I think they might have the best front seven in football. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's not crazy at all.
I really do.
It's really not.
I really do.
It's up there.
And what the pass rush can affect how the secondary can play. I know they're young back there. Tyler Nubin's a rookie. They replace due to one to the Packers. McKinney. Yeah, that's a big loss. I've already talked about Deontay Banks. I really like him. I'm going with the Giants though.
All right, Donnie.
It's close between Dallas and New York for me. It's super close because I do like Mike Zimmer. I do. I do think, in my personal opinion, I do think he is an upgrade over Dan Quinn. But I am gonna roll with the Giants. I'm gonna roll with the Giants. But something I will say, and I kind of talked about it with my friend the other day. Am I the only one that thinks that the Giants are the exact opposite version of what Arizona is? Arizona's looked at as one of the 10 best offenses in the league, but good Lord, that defense is god awful. Giants are kind of viewed as, I'd argue, one of the 10 best defenses in the league.
Yes.
Good Lord, that offense is god awful. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of flipped like that. But no, I'm gonna roll with the Giants, man. You guys have been singing its prayers. The front four is amazing. The linebacking core is great. And, Trey said it earlier, but if you just have one guy that you can just trust one-on-one, and then you can play, 5-over-3, that's going to change so much. And I also love Tyler Nubin a lot. Like, I know they lost Xavier McKinney. I'm not expecting him to be Xavier McKinney because they play completely different roles. But yeah. I am a big Nubin fan. I think he's a guy who'll be able to cover tight ends, be a little bit of a box guy as well. And listen, once again, he's not going to be Xavier McKinney because Xavier McKinney is one of the best in the league, but why can't Nubin be a solid safety day one? So I'll roll with the Giants. Also, who'd they pick up for DC? It's Shane. Who was it again?
The guy from the
Titans. What's his name? Shane Baldwin or something? Is that
Shane
it?
Bowen.
Yeah, Shane Bowen. That's it. And listen, his track record, with Tennessee wasn't very good, but I mean, he wasn't really given much to work with, so. Yeah, he's being given a lot more in New York, so that'll be nice.
Yeah. Don't let him shit the bed.
Lock
yeah, he didn't get a lot to work with. That sounds like somebody else who got removed from the staff from last year. But
Wait, so Donnie, why do you think the new Cowboys DC is an upgrade from Dan Quinn? And if y'all agree, I just want to know as well.
Mike Zimmer?
Yeah, Mike Zimmer.
I mean, just due to the fact that Dan Quinn wouldn't really accept the fact that he needed to make changes. And
also, I was about to say, also he's gonna play more than cover 3 and cover 2.
Yeah.
I
still like Dan Quinn. Don't get me wrong. I just think I like Mike Zimmer.
I love Dan Quinn. Go watch the Colts defense. Go watch the Colts defense last year. You know what they ran? Cover 3 all the time. And you know what their change up to that was? Cover 2. Tampa 2 specifically, which is literally
Tampa 2 is
cover 3 with different responsibilities. Like Dan Quinn don't run nothing but cover 3. So
he thought he had Seattle. He thought he had
all right,
Seattle personnel.
Johnny, back on you. Which team do you expect to regress in this division?
Which team do I expect to? I mean, I feel like the obvious answer for everybody is going to be Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Does everybody else think it's Dallas? So I could just move on.
I mean, think about
I do.
No, but if you really think about it, can the Commanders and Giants get much worse from last year?
How can the Commanders get any worse?
Yeah,
Giants can get worse.
I'm not gonna lie,
dude. The Commanders got the second pick. I mean, I guess.
Wait, Donnie.
Bro, the Commanders
I just realized something. You know who they hired as the offensive line coach? Bobby Johnson.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
That's a problem.
How many wins did the Commanders have?
Jaden, listen, Jaden. I'm sorry, but
4, so they're gonna have 3.
Jaden, you know how you averaged about 3.3 seconds in the pocket. Yeah, you're not gonna.
You're gonna average like a 1.7 game.
You're not gonna have that at Washington.
1.7.
Yeah, Brandon Coleman ain't.
Brandon Coleman
is unfortunately not.
Dale, just to answer your question, Bobby Johnson was the online coach for the New York Giants.
Andrew Wiley, I'm sorry, but you are not welcome.
Oh, good luck.
So I'll just use a new question then. I just use a new question because I think everybody's probably.
I don't even think Dallas is gonna regress. That's the thing.
Or I don't. Yeah, or just
I don't even think they're gonna regress.
It's kind of hard because this division is. So
yeah.
Who do you think is gonna be the breakout player in this division?
I like this question.
A breakout player, huh? Man, I wasn't prepared for this.
Hey, I got a name if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead, say the name. I'm still thinking.
Give me one second. Forgot his name. The running back for Rico Dowell. I go down.
Not the name, but I forgot it.
Rico Dowell. Because Zeke is not a starting running back anymore in 2024. He's just not. I think Rico Dowell. I think he's gonna take over Zeke's job by like week 4, week 5. I'm gonna be honest.
I have a name now. Okay, I got one.
I'm gonna go back to a name that I already said on this podcast. I'm gonna say Frankie Louisville. I think.
Has he already broken out though?
No, he hasn't. Because the nerds like us who sit there and try and find all 22 film so we can actually watch Frankie Louisville. Yes, we know who he is. The general public has no fucking.
Okay, clue. That's a good point.
Like,
yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah,
but he's going to be an important piece on that defense, especially if that defense actually turns out to be worth the shit. Which, quite frankly, I think they could.
There's a chance.
So I'm gonna say Frankie.
I got my name, so I'll just throw it out there right now. I think we talk about how bad the Eagles linebackers are. I think there might be a team in that division that somehow might have worse linebackers.
Oh, Dallas?
Depending on what they do with Micah.
I mean, Eric Kendricks is cooked.
I mean, there's one of the guys on the roster that I was a big fan of coming out of the draft a couple years ago, and that's DeMarvion Overshown. I mean, taller dude, lengthy, great athlete, kind of skinny, but yeah, I mean, he was a freak of an athlete coming out of Texas. I mean, he just needed some help with some block shedding stuff. Thought he didn't really use his eyes that well also, but this is a team that, he's been there for. Wasn't he drafted last year or was he drafted in 2022? I can never remember.
I think
it was 2023. So he was a rookie last year. So he's going to get his chance. Maybe he'll get his chance this year. I mean, they're going to give him a chance to win the starting spot. I don't think he's a Mike. He's probably a Will. But still.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, if he's a good player, and I think if he can live up to that potential with how great of an athlete he is, he's a bigger arm dude. He's definitely skinnier. I'm pretty sure he's around 215, which isn't great, but you can live with it considering he's a Will. If he can break out, I think that'd be huge for Dallas's defense.
All right, is it on Durag?
Yeah, I'm just running the name back. Bobby Okereke, bro. I'm running it back, bro. I think the leap he can make as a linebacker, he can be top 5. I think he's going to be top 5 by this time next year. But I'm running it back.
JJ?
I think Jahan Dotson can break out for the Washington Commanders if they use. From what I feel like they're gonna how the way they're gonna utilize his offense. I think for one, we're gonna see a lot more. We're gonna see a lot more of these guys, like the receivers, being able to. People are gonna start saying that Terry McLaurin is gonna be more expensive. That's just one, right? But not only that, I think that Jahan Dotson is actually a very solid supplemental receiver to what Terry McLaurin can be, and it's going to open up a lot of stuff for them. And I just think that he wasn't utilized in his best scenarios, nor was he playing at his best at times either. But I think it can definitely all come together for him this season, and I think those factors in itself are going to be able to make him look better until they keep on moving in the direction of being a really good team. So yeah.
All right, Trey. Oh, you said Frankie Louis.
He said his.
And then Nigel.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to run mine back. I think Milton Williams, with the loss of some of those D linemen with Philly, I think he's going to get more opportunity and be a pretty good playmaker for them. So I'll stick with him.
Josh, you here?
Yeah, I'm going to go Nolan Smith, man. I liked him coming out as a prospect. I think he was a strong run defender. I liked him. He used a lot of different pass rush moves. He knows how to get to the quarterback fast. So.
Wait, has everyone gone?
That guy's Ben was freaky.
Nah, Karen's about to go right now. Yo, Karen.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, what's good? So, Karen, who you think is gonna be a breakout player in the NFC East?
This is kind of a homer pick because I'm not really sure if he's gonna get like that many snaps, but this guy was like rated as one of the fastest like guys in the league. Period. He's on the Dallas Cowboys. His name's Kevontae Turpin. It's really a homer pick because I'm not really sure how because they already have CD. They have a lot of guys on offense.
Jalen Tolbert, Brandon Cooks, yeah.
If they use his speed, I think he can be pretty good in that offense. So I don't know.
Hey, I wish Dad had a Kevontae Turpin. Good fucking God.
You know what's crazy? No one said Jordan Davis.
Chill. Damn.
Yo, Kieran, and you called
Jalen Carter sounded too. Jalen Carter sounded too bad.
Kieran called me Jordan Davis's biggest.
And so the last,
I should have said Jalen Carter.
So the last one, Kieran, what do you the division standings? What you got?
I think it's kind of obvious.
I think it's pretty obvious. Unless like the Cowboys just like have a meltdown with Mike McCarthy, don't really see it changing with like Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. So, because like even though like Mike McCarthy, like even though the Giants got better and like the Cowboys on paper are still good, like we've seen meltdowns in the past with coaches and they just go straight downhill. But
all right, Josh.
Hey man, the curse is real. Eagles finishing first.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Cowboys second, Giants third, and Jada Dale's my friend. You're gonna be running for your life, man.
Will Campbell will save you soon, buddy. I promise.
Do some track before the season, man.
I can't lie. Is everyone gonna have that answer?
Probably.
I am. I'm going.
Trey, Trent, do you guys?
Huh?
Do you guys have that? Do you guys have
Eagles,
the same answer?
Cowboys, Giants,
Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
I got Giants one. I'm like, I got Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, Giants 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though. I do think that the Giants are gonna come in last in the division. That's
Do you think they're gonna be worse than the Commanders? Interesting.
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Hey, JJ, you want to make that bet?
Honestly,
No.
honestly, hey, in all seriousness, I could see that if for no other reason. We can sit like I feel differently about Jaden Daniels than some of the rest of y'all do. So that's the first thing. But
that O-line is so bad though.
Even with the offensive line being bad, I think Jaden Daniels is better at football than Daniel Jones. Both of them are going to be behind porous O-lines with like a nondescript running game. Like even if they turn out to be good, we're not saying Brian Johnson and Devin Singletary are like household names when it comes to the running game. So if we're betting on one offense,
the go Austin Eckler.
To actually
This is all I'm hoping for. Jaden, just please slide. Please slide, man. Please slide.
Hold on, wait. You notice I said Brian Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm. Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I went correct you though. I knew you was talking.
I know what you meant. I was just trolling.
It was that forgettable though. I see what you're trying to do.
Hey, don't talk to me about a running back that looks at a head coach and says, "Hey,
I don't want to run the ball.
You're giving your running back 300 carries a year. I don't want that. So what? You don't want the ball, boy? If you don't shut your bald head ass up
and catch the screen pass.
I mean, to be fair, he's never ended.
It's the dump off from Jaden Daniels.
He's about to catch mad dump offs though, like he's seeing.
All right, so wait, who hasn't gone with their division standings?
Dawson, he's about to run a.
I think we all got the same one.
Yeah,
we all got the same ones.
Yeah.
Eagles, Cowboys. Yeah, bro. Before we head out and shit, we could just talk about. Did y'all see that top 10 QBs that the executive shit, bro?
No, what is that?
Wait, Trent, you said
no.
Josh, get ready, buddy.
Wait, you said NFL executives dropped it?
Yeah, it's like so. I'm gonna call it the top 10 is Dak at 10, Jared Goff at 9, A-Rod at 8.
Have a good night.
Wait,
7, CJ Stroud. Oh, matter of fact. I just read his name. Fuck this list real quick. Josh, you can turn your camera on real quick.
I'm in the dark right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right. Okay. So fine. You can just explain this because I remember you told me this before the show. I forgot CJ Stroud. Forgot CJ Stroud.
Jared Goff clip number 2.
I didn't realize you was gonna be on the stream today. So you had a game. So can you explain to me and the public why you think CJ Stroud is overrated?
Well, two things, right? I love CJ Stroud as a player, but when people try to put him in top 4 conversations, I just think it's crazy. Like, you're not telling me with a straight face is better than Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or even Joe Burrow. And he doesn't get enough not sure some of the deep ball misses he has. Like, he has a lot of deep ball misses. Like, when I'm specifically watching Nico Collins, like, CJ Stroud misses him downfield quite a bit, and nobody really talks about it. Like, yes, he's a good processor, but he has a lot of misses downfield, and nobody really talks about it. I think it needs to be talked about more. I personally think that Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback, just slightly, but I think they're the same tier.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Go back to the list again. So it's 10 Dak, 9 Goff, 8 A-Rod, 7 CJ, 6 Herbert, 5 Stafford, 4 Lamar, 3 Josh, 2 Burrow, 1 Patrick Mahomes.
3 who?
Can we stop putting Burrow over Allen?
No conversation over
Lamar. Please.
No conversation.
Wait, Donnie, say that again.
And Allen too.
No comment be over Josh Allen. I don't know why we keep doing this. Like, it shouldn't. It's never.
It's not a debate. It's not a debate.
Donnie, why is it a debate?
Josh Allen has always been better than Joe Burrow.
Always
has been.
Preach the gospel.
He always has been. The moment Josh Allen broke out in 2020 and Burrow entered the league. Okay, Trey, come on.
Okay, 2022 was the only year it was like.
Look, I didn't understand what you said always, and then once you specify,
you're right.
The moment Josh Allen became who he was.
The moment Josh Allen became Josh Allen, he has always been better than Joe Burrow. It's as simple as that. Josh Allen can do things that you simply cannot teach, and I've said this before. Outside of Lamar Jackson, and honestly, you could argue they're in the same tier. No one at the quarterback position is as terrifying as a runner, except for Lamar Jackson, than Josh Allen. When Josh Allen has the ball and he can hurdle linebackers at 6'5", 240,
yeah,
and he's outrunning the Pittsburgh DBs and running for a 60-yard touchdown. Are you kidding me? And you don't even add on to the fact that he's one of the best playmakers in the league. He has amazing pocket presence, and does he have the strongest arm in the league? He might. He very well.
No. Joe Milton.
Okay, on that note, we can
lock it.
Am I wrong though?
No, you're not.
Logistics.
What's up, bro?
Hold on. Yo, JJ.
I'm so mad you said
What's up, bro?
JJ.
What's up, bro?
Turn your camera on real quick.
Bro, for what?
You know,
Burrow is not better. He's not better.
JJ, turn your camera on for real. Okay, JJ, you got anything to say about that?
I do, bro. I just let him get it off, bro. I just let him rock.
Okay,
bro, look, Donnie, respectfully, I'm gonna say this again. I've said this multiple times. Told Dave, Dawson's been there for this. We did it on a Twitter space, bro. Trey was even there for that. I respectfully disagree with your stance on why you think Josh Allen is better. I'm not gonna take away from what you said because, bro, he is one of the best playmakers in the league and that's a fact. But I also think Joe Burrow is one of the best playmakers in the league. I also think that I don't think Josh Allen has better pocket presence than Joe Burrow, and that's just me personally. And so in those aspects, I feel like we differ. Like I said, we talked about this before, so I'm not really trying to go too crazy into it.
Yeah.
But unless you want to, but
yeah, go into it.
I might want to.
No, I'm trying to get to it.
You know how I feel, JJ.
We got 10 minutes before we head out. We got 10 minutes before we head out.
You know how I feel about JJ. I crash out my job.
I know you will. You're gonna crash out. You're gonna crash out for you're gonna literally crash out for no reason.
I don't. No. Trent, you know what I don't get, Trent? How can you say he's better than Josh Allen when Josh Allen is clearly better in the postseason?
And there we go.
It matters.
I don't want to have this conversation at all. If we're gonna keep on doing this,
hold on. This may be
Donnie brought up very sound points, and then the first thing you run to is when you first start talking is about what he does in the playoffs. In the
biggest moments.
Yeah, bro, talking about that right now.
The biggest moments.
Yo, Trent, can I say this real quick? Because it may be a hot take.
The biggest moments, but yet the one dude that was on the biggest stage. And he was the one dude that made it to the biggest stage, outshined any of the big moments you're talking about. So I could care less. I could care less.
Whoa. Hey.
There's no game better than that game against Kansas City.
Say that again.
Like, bro. Actually, that is disrespectful. You're right. Other than that game, Josh Allen does not have another. Other than that game that you just
Patriots game,
no.
He played
no.
The Patriots
one game.
Hold on. So JJ, you telling me outside of the Chiefs game, there is no other game Josh Allen has a better game than Joe Burrow?
No.
You lied.
The Steelers game was beautiful. You're lying on camera.
And the thing about I have to say this. The thing about Joe Burrow's playoffs, like everyone likes to bring up 2021. His best playoff game is versus the Bills in 2022.
Bro, the Patriots couldn't make this. They could have forced him a punt. Not a single punt the entire game.
Didn't they drop 50, Josh?
JJ, why are you
capping? That was a great game. That was a great call game. That was a very well played call. That was great play calling, being called and everything. But I do not think that he had a better game. Right there.
Are you fine?
We're talking about
what Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
they could have won. They could have put some fun.
I don't know.
It was a perfect game against the Belichick defense.
Yeah, just went against the Rams with the worst O-line in the league. He played against Aaron Donald. And y'all sitting here talking to me about this right now, bro.
He got there because the defense played
one mic. Hold on.
You see what you're talking about, though? I just said, regardless, you said he got there because how his defense played. Fine. Because you're trying to diminish what happened, though. From what I said, though, is when he got there, he still played an amazing game from start to finish, one of the best games. But between those two, in my opinion. So regardless, I don't care about what you're talking about. You're talking about their defense this, talking about their defense that. I'm not here to talk about that. We're talking about them as quarterbacks. And what Donnie brought up versus what you brought up is two different things. You're talking about me about playoffs. You think Peyton Manning is just some square or something now because of his playoffs? You think that?
That's the reason he's not the best. There's a reason he's not the best.
But do you think Peyton Manning didn't even top two his entire up until Pat Mahomes showed up?
That sounds good, JJ. But I'll tell you right now.
What sound good?
When it comes to the greats, that little shit matters. If you're not,
so when it comes to Peyton Manning was top. He was one of the worst quarterback ever. But you're gonna sit here and tell me that don't matter.
Hold on. I can't trust in the show.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on. Durag.
You can trust Peyton Manning.
Hold on.
Can you?
Let me be the mediator. Okay, so look. I'm not gonna lie, Durag. JJ's frying the shit out of you because
he's not frying nothing wrong. Sorry.
No.
He's in the playoffs.
Hold up. The reason I say JJ's frying the shit out of you because your only talking point It's playoffs. Like I swear to
No,
God.
Donnie already got everything.
Oh,
Donnie already said everything. I need to say.
nigga, let me finish. Nigga.
Fine. Donnie said everything. Go ahead.
Now, hold on. Let me finish. This is what I'm saying. Your only brought up point is the playoff. That's why JJ brought up Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is still a top 3 locked or top 4, whatever. Mahomes came in the league. How you ever played about Aaron Rodgers? He's a top 5 locked quarterback to ever play this game, and his playoff resume is hot dog shit.
Yeah. But
we're the
greatest regular season quarterback ever.
What you mean?
He's still that great. He's still
what
great.
You mean?
Though.
Yeah, bro.
Joe Burrow's still top 3, top 4 in the league. It's not like the playoffs not pushing him down past top 5. He's still up there. But when you talk about it, if one guy is great in the playoffs and the other guy is nowhere near as good as the other guy, it's not a conversation, bro. It's not a convo.
Joe Montana better than Peyton?
So that means
is Joe Montana better than Peyton?
Hey, so wait. Hold on. I'm about to cook this shit real quick. Are you telling me that Joe Montana is better than Peyton Manning?
Logistics.
What the fuck does that even mean?
He's a Niners fan. He's a Niner fan, bro.
Fuck that Niners fan.
reason
Fuck you being a homer.
Yo, Donnie, is Kurt Warner better than Peyton
Manning? Are you telling me to straight face that Joe Montana is better than Peyton Manning?
I said Peyton Manning's better.
How? If you just said the playoffs, if somebody's clearly better in the playoffs, it's not a conversation.
Because Peyton Manning is like regular clearly the best.
Hold on, Darren, hold on. Now, Darren, say that again.
He's easily the best. He's the best regular season quarterback there is. It's
simple. Joe Montana is still good in the regular season.
Yeah.
So if you just said your fucking criteria is playoffs and one is clearly better than the other, we all fucking know Joe Montana is a good ass regular season quarterback. Yeah. And he fucking wiped in the playoffs.
Is a talent level? Is it not a talent level drop as well? What Peyton Manning is as a talent?
Wait.
Goalposts. You're moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts.
You're not the same two players.
You're right.
That's not what you said.
You're right. You just said. Again, if it's not a conversation in the fucking playoffs. What?
Okay, and also hold on. Let's not like Josh Allen's bro. Let's not like Josh Allen's just a clearly better regular season quarterback there. Joe Burrow's still in a good regular season. The cap from there is still not.
Point.
Peyton Manning is by far a better regular season quarterback. He's a better talent as well.
That's the point, bro. That's the point. Joe Montana is still really good in the regular season, and in the playoffs, he wipes the fuck what Peyton Manning's ass. He wipes his ass.
Right.
Yo, what about Kurt Warner?
You shouldn't think it's a conversation.
Is Kurt Warner better than Peyton?
That's literally inconsistent.
Kurt Warner is some of the greatest playoff games ever.
You need stop it. Why not?
Kurt Warner has some of the playoff games
Because
ever.
hold on. Hey, to add on, Jada, you and Kurt Warner. What is he? 2-time MVP? And it was a great playoff performer. He's a better playoff performer than Peyton Manning.
What about 99? 99 Warner is one of the all-time great seasons, is it not?
Yes, it is. So how is it?
If Peyton Manning got 2 seasons that clears that.
That's not the point.
No, it's not the point.
Hey, but what I said was crazy, right? Now he's saying what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Hold on. Let me break it down for the chat.
99 Warner.
This is the debate.
Hey, respect Giants.
It started with Burrow Allen. But this nigga Durad's criteria is, if there's not a conversation in the playoffs, not at all, one is clearly better than the other. So they're not.
He's a better talent and a better quarterback anyway.
You never brought that up.
Conversation. The same reason y'all have Mahomes over Joe Burrow. Y'all should have Josh Allen.
You are dead ass wholeheartedly saying that as quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are not close.
The same. If y'all think Matt Mahomes is a clearly better quarterback, y'all should say the same thing.
What the fuck?
I think Mahomes is a clearly better quarterback than Josh.
Mahomes is the what clearly better quarterback than Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is clearly better. Josh Allen is same logic. Same logic applies. The same way Trent would say, "Hey, if you think Jett is better than Tay Adams, so Stephon Diggs, hey, bro, it's simple as that. That's not
the same. That's not the same. That's not the same.
It's the same. League has the same case.
Hold on, Gabe. I do have Josh Allen over Joe Burrow.
I've always said it. I'm not just going
to use playoffs because you're going to start dying on a slippery fucking slope. Because now now Durant want to start adding shit to his criteria. When the main shit that he was saying for 10 minutes straight to fucking JJ was, if you're clearly better than in the playoffs, you are clearly better. So if that's the case, I'm not done. If that's the case, then Joe Montana is clearly better than Peyton Manning. But you're not going to say that, are you not?
Bro, y'all niggas, bro. Oh my god, now you take a shot. That shit.
So he's right or wrong?
Trent, if you asked him that question, Trent, Ali asked him if he clears the playoffs. What's the case for him? Because in the playoffs, he hasn't shown up like
because
Josh Allen. Josh Allen holds way more responsibility.
It's open the fucking playoffs.
Josh Allen doesn't have no responsibility.
Peyton Manning showed up in the playoffs.
Josh Allen holds way more responsibility.
As Peyton Manning showed up for his career, did Peyton Manning show up in the playoffs?
You never. Wait. You never brought up he had more responsibility. That was not the point.
Bro, me just had this debate many times. I always said Josh Allen carries more weight than what Joe Burrow will. Josh Allen carries the run game. It's to carry the pass game. They forcing this motherfucker to elevate Gabe Davis. They had purpose that Gabe Davis looking nice for it. Yeah, Gabe Davis looking good. Now Gabe Davis got 40 mil because he was one in the first game because Josh Allen elevated him. Joe Burrow can never do that, bro. I'm sorry.
The majority of his career did Peyton Manning ever show up?
What?
For a majority of Peyton Manning's playoff career, did he ever show up?
No.
So how is he not better than Joe Montana?
No.
Oh, that's funny.
How is he not better than Joe Montana?
Hey, they better than Montana. I don't care. Hey, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, I really don't care. I'm talking right now.
What? You think it's close?
I don't care. I don't care about that conversation. I'm sorry. I'm still so.
Yo, going down a circle. It's a hole.
Yeah.
Like I said, Josh Allen
boxing the corner so bad.
And that's what I'm saying.
Niggas got him in the box so bad. He don't even know what the fuck.
I still want to know why. What legit, bro? What logical reasoning when you take Joe Burrow?
Hit that shit.
What logical reason? What logical reason when you take Joe Burrow?
Get out of
There's no
here,
logical reason.
Boxed up so bad. You don't know what
it's never boxed up because JJ doesn't have a logistical reason why.
Why do I have my whole logistical reason? I literally stated the fact that I have told you on plenty of occasions that I told you Joe Burrow is a better passer than Josh Allen, in my opinion. What you go to contradict that point with is every single time. It's on Spaces too. Hey, all chat, y'all go tune in to Trent. Go to Trent Twitter right now. Follow that man and go listen to that space. The first thing he's gonna argue against me saying that he's a better passer. But what happened in the playoffs though? That's what he said. That's literally what you do.
No, I'm not gonna lie. We was on that space. He's right.
But first off, Josh. That wasn't the first time we ever had this conversation. Let's not like that. What I'm gonna tell you right now. One, the carry pass to Joe Burrow is he leads that team in rushing. He's the rushing game for the longest time before James Cook popped on the scene last year. He carries that rushing game. Outside Stephon Diggs, what else is there to throw to? Gabe Davis? We talk about Stephon Diggs getting bracketed every playoff game. Stephon Diggs can't see single coverage. Josh Allen has to elevate that passing game as well. The O-line isn't great. The play calling since Brian Dable left, Ken Dorsey, like Joe Brady, it's not the best. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, he still got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And that makes his job a lot easier.
So, okay, to that standpoint,
better.
To that standpoint, when you're saying what Josh Allen is dealing with in terms of play calling and all that stuff is more difficult, I can't argue against it, but that's the way the league goes, right? The way the league goes is, at the end of the day, you have a great play caller. This man becomes like one of the best play callers in the league. People are gonna want to hire him for a job. So he loses, he goes on, and they move on, right? On the organizational point of them trying to organize a team to make it better for Josh Allen, regardless. I don't care if you tell me that Joe Burrow got better receivers, this, that, and the third, right? I have watched Joe Burrow utilize Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, and he was still getting it done before he tore his ACL his rookie year.
Would Tyler Boyd not be the clear-cut number 2 in Buffalo?
And he would be a clear-cut number 2 in a lot of different places. That's not the point, though. That is definitely not the point.
I don't know about that, but
y'all are gonna don't even talk about that. Y'all gonna have to look into that later, but don't even talk about that. My point is, regardless of Tyler Boyd, you think he'll be a clear-cut number 2 on the Bills, blah blah blah, right? My standpoint is as a passer, I think Joe Burrow is still just above Josh Allen as a passer. He layers passes better than me. I think he's much more accurate. I think he has much more better timing. He reads defenses probably with the best of them in the league. Aside from Tua Tagovailoa, there's a lot of other guys that still have that struggle. You know what I'm saying? That do that. You feel me? But my standpoint is this: as a passer, Joe Burrow, he's much more cerebral than Josh Allen. That's fine. What you value in Josh Allen is the fact that he has to go and then offload his not his strengths in passing to what he has to do in the run game, especially considering that he has a poor run game behind him too. And I don't even think James Cook is as bad as than what he had the year prior. But still, he still has to go offload that. And that's what Josh Allen is, though. That's his game. You have to cater your team to make him be able to be his best self by being able to run the football as well. So he's a dual threat capable quarterback. Joe Burrow, yeah, he can escape the pocket, but he's not no dual threat guy like Josh Allen. That's fine. So what you do, you cater your team to building what Joe Burrow's strengths are. And what they did is they were one of the least, they were the lowest in his rookie year in terms of explosive plays, even before he got hurt, right? And what they did is they went to go get the guy that they knew was going to create a lot of explosive plays, right? So regardless, if you want to hate and say, oh, he has one of the best receiving corps in the league, that's what a team's supposed to do. They're supposed to build your guys around it. They're supposed to go and build that. Regardless when Jamar Chase was in there, he was still balling out with them boys. He was still balling out with T. Higgins. He was still balling out with Tyler Boyd. You said what?
Have the Bills done that for Josh Allen?
What do you mean have the Bills done that for Josh Allen? The Bills literally went and got him Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And then said
but afterwards, okay, that's 1 year. But afterwards,
they got him a deep threat in Gabe Davis. Y'all hate on Gabe Davis? Y'all hate on Gabe Davis? No. Hold on, time out. Y'all hate on Gabe Davis? Y'all hate on Gabe Davis, but the one thing he's going to do is get you 3 catches for 130 yards and 3 TDs. And if all he's doing is keeping it deep, he's going to do that. He's literally done it on multiple occasions.
He elevated Gabe Davis.
I will. Hold on.
Fine.
They telling Josh Allen,
hold on. Don't
add to something decent.
I'll put it like this, JJ. I'll put it like this.
Like you telling me Joe Burrow's not doing no Gabe Davis either? You're lying.
I'll put it like this. You bringing up Gabe Davis is like when early niggas saying, "Oh, they had Muhammad Sanu as a wide receiver." I'm just saying.
Y'all are okay, but look, what y'all are missing. What I'm trying to say, right? Y'all are missing what I'm trying to say. What teams are going to do, yes, Gabe Davis is not the ideal wide receiver number 2. I agree. I stated that on multiple occasions, and Trey, you know that. But the standpoint I'm making is the fact that regardless if they didn't if what's called wasn't the ideal number 2, they went and drafted Khalil Shakir. We don't know who he's going to be yet. They got Gabe Davis because of the fact that, okay, we have a guy with potentially the strongest arm in the league. We need a guy that's going to go up and get that. That's not Stephon Diggs. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
That's not Stephon Diggs. They said, okay, we need a guy that's going to be able to handle those responsibilities of being able to go deep and be able to go up and grab it when my guy with a freaking rocket of arm that can throw end zone to end zone is going to leave the ball down there. I want you to be able to grab it. That's what they utilize Gabe Davis for. So I'm not here to sit here and try to say Gabe Davis is better than whatever he what's called. But for what they asked him to do, he did that junk to the best of his ability and did that. And so y'all dropping that, y'all knocking that, but y'all not really talking about what the real woes are, and that's just because of offensive play calling. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about diminish Josh Allen just because of his offensive play calling. I know who he is. I just don't think he's better than Joe Burrow because I think Joe Burrow as a quarterback is much more cerebral. He's a better passer. He understands defenses better, and he's able to pick apart defenses better than what's called. And that's just my standpoint on that. And then what you go do is then you go attack the playoffs. So why didn't he do this versus blah, blah, blah? Why didn't he do this versus the Chiefs, the Titans, and this, that, and the third? That's what you're going to bring up instead of talking about what they really do.
So we ain't like in the playoffs, teams don't force him to make Gabe Davis wide receiver 1?
You said what?
They forced Gabe Davis to be a wide receiver 1 because they gonna bracket Stephon Diggs every game.
Oh, on the run before they lost the loss to the Chiefs, where they just all was Stephon Diggs non-existent in that entire run.
What year was that?
The year was that 2021? Am I lying?
The
run where the Bills lost to the Chiefs and Stephon Diggs stayed on the field. Was Stephon Diggs non-existent in all those games?
He was not all those games, but it was just the Chiefs game because he had 7 yards and he was doubling him.
But every other game he was there, right?
The other games he played good though.
I was like, you forced me to bracket my number receiver.
So basically, Dave, what you're telling me is, but Dave, you just told me, you just sat here and told me, aside from the Chiefs game, which is fine because that's what happened, right?
They did it last year.
But no. But aside from they did it later in the season too. They did that right in the regular season too. But aside from last year, right? I'm not last year. Aside from the Chiefs game, you're telling me that Stephon Diggs was non-existent?
I didn't say he's non-existent, but damn it, my number one getting double, and I got to make Gabe Davis work. I got to make some magic
there, right?
Like, damn, that's a harder job.
Non-existent because they were doubling him. He was just not playing.
His number one was there in those games. Yes,
you said what? What you say, Karen? What you say?
Are you talking about the Chiefs in 2024?
I'm talking about general. I'm talking about the playoffs.
I mean, he had one bad drop.
JJ, obviously not on the field, but JJ,
I'm not even talking about 2024. He got bracketed late in the season in 2024, so I'm not even talking about that.
He got bracketed. Everything.
So that whole conversation done too, because teams just realized, bro, what is Josh Allen gonna do with the cast that the front office has been able to build? That's why I said, regardless, that's fine. I understand. Josh Allen to me is a top 3 quarterback in the league. I think out of those three, actually out of once Mahomes is right here, then you got Joe Burrow and Josh Allen right here. And it's still a pretty until we got to see what Aaron Rodgers does. But for the most part, there's still another margin of them 2 guys are above those guys, and that's my standpoint on that, and that's where I stand on that. Now, I for the most part, I go back and forth with the Josh Allen stuff just because it's fun. But for the most part, people putting them 2, as long as those 2 are the top 3, it's whatever. But I think personally, what I value in those 2 quarterbacks, what Joe Burrow does, I value more.
The last one.
And same thing that a lot of the things that Josh Allen does, people try to compare it to Mahomes. Mahomes does that clearly better. And not only that, he's just a far better. He has better pocket presence than Bro too. He's just better. He's a better quarterback in the pocket as well. So it's just that stuff. It's not comparable. That's what I'm really getting at.
Like I said, I'm gonna take the guy who I saw can make magic work.
Look, I agree. Josh Allen is better, but
Joe Burrow can make magic work too.
Look, you're right.
I feel like y'all underrating how bad Gabe Davis is, bro. Like,
Gabe Davis is not good, bro.
He's not good.
Wait, how Watson was just talking about Jordan Davis. Minus that by 5,000. But all right, so look,
like he's not a good separator.
Yeah, he's just terrible. I said,
definitely
is it's that Dave Logic was just pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie, it was just getting tight. So, appreciate everybody that came out. Make sure y'all like, so make sure y'all join the Discord. I pinned it in the chat. We're going back live on Playback. We probably thinking of a Will Johnson versus Travis Hunter, some shit like that. We might have some shit. I just gotta think some more shit. Make sure also chat, put some ideas in Discord if you're not in there already. Put some ideas for the FilmRoom so we can do. Twitter Spaces. I've been lacking the Twitter Spaces because I was also with my mother for like a whole week because we had severe fucking bipolar ass weather, hurricane weather in Texas, so I wasn't really on the Twitter Spaces like that. Make sure y'all still follow me on Twitter. It'll be in in the description. Make sure y'all follow everybody else on here, bro. We're gonna keep grinding, keep doing our shit, bro. JJ, you look mad as shit.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm just thinking.
Also, too, chat. Add me. Listen, y'all can add me on PlayStation or Xbox for NCAA 25. I got it. We BTA all year long, busting ass. Make sure what's his name, bro?
Don't duck me.
Don't dub Durag. Durag sucks. Don't pay attention. Of course, Thursday college football show. We're gonna be talking about the game. We're gonna be talking about how Jalen Miro is Jesus Christ on that video game. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of shit. But
if you use Alabama, you're cheating, bro.
That man, Jesus. That man is Buddha. Like that shit not fair.
So yeah, bro. We out, man. Peace.